Welcome, everyone, to a new era of tennis where we have another preseason showdown of the INTENNSE League. I'm J.Y. Obona, and today I'm joined by Coach Connor Casey, the Ohio State legend, as we bring you all the action from the James Creek Tennis Center, where we have the home team, Atlanta, taking on Tampa in this fast-paced professional team format that brings dynamic new strategies and a fan-driven atmosphere to redefine the game. Coach, welcome to a new era of tennis.
Thank you, JY. Happy to be here on ESPN 8, the Ocho, ready to take this town by storm with some new tennis.
Well, we're excited to get started in our fourth preseason match of the year, where we're going to discuss first some of the INTENNSE League new rules that fans need to be aware of that are very different from the traditional sport of tennis. So as we mentioned earlier, this is a team format where we're going to have 3 men and 3 women, same team, and fans will get to see a men's singles match followed by a women's singles match, and then they all come together and we have a mixed doubles match to finish it off. Each of these matches will consist of 3 10-minute bolts with a scoring system so simple, even Doge couldn't find anything unnecessary in it because it's simply total points won wins.
No one's getting cut here.
Nope. If you win 1 point, counts as +1, and if you hit a shot that is untouched by your opponent, it counts as +2. Servers only get 1 serve and 1 toss, so serve bots beware. You can't catch your toss because you get nervous in a big moment. Coaching is allowed at any moment, and a player can be subbed in at any time as long as it doesn't occur in the middle of a point. Something that you, Connor, might have wished existed when your knee injury happened during your playing days.
Yeah, definitely. I wish I could have subbed people in. I mean, look, substitutions, that's really what I'm most excited about with this league, because on one hand, if you're losing, you could substitute someone in and they could maybe take the beating or find some energy and win the match. If you're winning, maybe you take a sub because you want to relax and get a little conserve some energy. So I'm very interested to see how the sub plays out, and I know it's a fantasy that all tennis players have, is the ability to sort of literally, in a team tennis event, tag someone in and see what happens.
Yeah, well, and multiple times we've already seen it. One of our first matches, we had a player get injured. You know, El Capitan Martin.
Oh, yeah.
He got injured, and they had to put in another player, and that guy ended up playing almost the whole time.
Yeah.
And it ended up working out because it wasn't so serious that he couldn't play the rest of the day, because he actually came back in the doubles and was actually the best player in doubles later in the day.
Well, there you go, yeah. Got to relax the energy, got to rest the injury a little bit.
Yeah.
It got to come back with, so that's good. That's exciting to hear.
Yeah, and then the server's pace is going to be very interesting because, they have to play at the server's pace.
Right.
Okay, if the returner's not ready, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay?
Now, traditionally you do have to play at the server's pace, but the server's pace in this is a bit more sped up.
Yeah, sometimes, in traditional tennis, the referee can give a little leeway if it's just absurd, right? Grab the ball, go, run, play. Here, it actually doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If the returner's not ready, they can just dink a serve in and go.
Right, okay, nice.
So that's going to be really interesting to see.
Yeah.
We have all these things with the sweaty towels and the ball kids and all that.
Stevie Johnson wiping his mustache and trying to shake hands with people.
We're not going to have that this time.
Yeah, okay,
Okay, because they don't have time.
Right.
But it'll be interesting to see when they get down how fast they play. When they're up big, do they actually choose to slow it down?
Right.
So that's going to be a really cool new format, but also the fitness side of it.
Okay.
So, when you get to play a lot, you can play 10 minutes straight, right? It's a different kind of fitness.
Yeah.
Players are used to having those 20 seconds to really slow down. But here, a lot of times, especially early in matches, you're trying to score as many points as possible.
Yeah.
So you're trying to get back, and we saw it with Robin Anderson, one of the best players in the world, try this format, and you can see her winded by the end of it, and having to take a deep breath. So I'm interested in seeing how all of that comes in play.
Yeah, because when you think of sort of traditional tennis, you're thinking more intervals, big, explosive, fast burst of energy, got some time to cool down. Here we're looking at maybe more of a marathon type long distance run.
Yeah, marathon sprint.
Yeah, marathon sprint.
Marathon sprint. Well, people are actually trying to win that marathon, not like, hey, I did a little Ironman, I'm done. Yeah. It's like, no, we're actually trying to come in first.
I've heard of some of the golf boys going out and playing golf where they run from shot to shot.
Yep.
So maybe this is a new country club.
Golf.
Speed golf on one end of the country club. Intense tennis happening over here.
Yeah.
We got cold plunges, infrared saunas. We're getting into the new age.
We just got a new weekend format when we have this. If we can have this at a golf club with tennis, you have speed golf one day, you come out, and then you play some speed tennis called Intense.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And so, And then, the interesting part too is going to be for me, the real long-term vision of the league. Like, so why did this all start?
Yeah.
And it's because, you've been through it. I've been through it. Tennis needs to be reimagined, the entire structure of it, and I think the hardest part has been the financial aspect for players.
Right.
You lose money even when you win a tournament sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? And
travel
so,
expenses, coaches' expenses, stringing.
Yeah. I mean, and I want you to think back.
Mm-hmm.
Think back to one of your biggest grinds where you're like, all right, I'll play, but I'm going to try to save as much money as possible.
Yeah.
Any memories come back to you there?
Well, I know definitely trying to financially plan how I was going to get to Tunisia and looking at the amount of money you could win if you even won the tournament and looking at how much it would cost me to get to the next tournament. And I'm going, even if I have the trip of my life, I'm lucky to make $2,000 here. That's probably going to go to my car back home. So, just the hearkening back to that gives me trauma response.
Yeah, I remember splitting a hotel room with 5 guys, someone sleeping on the floor, but actually playing. We're still in the middle of a tournament.
Yeah.
There was 5 of us squeezed in a truck, just
Right.
going from one tournament to the next. I mean, it's just...
Ironically, you're 5 guys in a truck, and the only thing you can afford to eat is 5 guys. Right?
Yeah, not anymore.
You're not
Not
at Nobu
inflation.
with Djokovic.
Yeah, no, but, and...
So now you're eating Red Robin if you're lucky.
If you're lucky. No appetizer, though.
No
Okay.
guac. Definitely no guac.
No guac. Yeah.
Chipotle.
And then, having players that actually have salaries.
Yeah.
That have their coaching free, their expenses covered, really creating a major professional league like all the other sports.
Yeah.
And creating a healthier lifestyle, and also the fan experience. I think this comes in first. If you think back to the Australian Open this year, there's 2 matches between the Australian Open and Indian Wells. Djokovic, semifinals, expensive tickets against Zverev, gets hurt, pulls out.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you show up, you planned your whole day around that.
Yeah.
Gone.
Oh, and then the amount of times you show up to a tournament, the match is supposed to start at 7:30 p.m., doesn't get on till 11. I mean, you got to get home and be up at the next morning. You're watching tennis at 2 in the morning.
But how many times have you actually watched tennis at 2 in the morning?
I barely watch after 9:30. Once I read the little blue truck to my daughter, I'm out, man.
The only time I've watched tennis at 5 in the morning was after a night out because I was just still awake.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, you walked back in there.
I didn't stay awake to watch that.
The Australian Open, I mean, maybe but not really. I'll tell people I stayed up.
Yeah. And so I think, putting that fan experience where they know when they're starting. Match starts today, starts at 12:30. Okay, we have 3 30-minute sessions. You know when it's going to finish.
Yeah.
We have it indoors. You know when you start. You know when you finish. It's just so much easier to plan.
Yeah.
Especially in tennis, like parents are looking for things to get for their kids to do. This is a much better environment than sitting out there. I love the U.S. Open. It's one of my favorite tournaments. But when it's like 90 degrees outside and middle bleachers, my window to stay there gets definitely smaller.
Yeah, you're definitely not wearing shorts on those middle bleachers either. I mean, I like the fact that it's feeling more like an event too. You sort of at a traditional tennis event, I'm walking in, I got somebody telling me, shh, they're in the middle of the point. I got to wait to get to get to my seat. I get to watch 2 games, and then if I want to go get some peanuts or something, I got to sneak out. Like I feel like I'm like robbing the place.
Yeah.
Here, at least you walk in, they're playing music, you get to rub shoulders, make some comments. It's a bit more like IRL, as they say, right? In real life.
Yeah. My favorite has been, though sometimes I feel really bad. You see it all the time with that one fan that is actually like, they just take the chance to try to sneak out.
Right.
And what are the odds you have that player that's somehow up 15,000 people because everyone has to be so quiet and still, they notice that one player and they just stop and stare at them. And then the ref's like, hey, can you sit down? And then the camera focuses on them, puts them on blast in front of everybody. Yeah. And they're like, oh, I gotta sit down. Oh gosh, where do I go? There's nowhere to sit. Yeah. And then it's just, and the player's like, oh my God. Yeah. We don't have that here.
We don't get that, Well, that is how I met my wife. No, I'm just kidding. But
well, personal stories, that happens. Yeah. So, but speaking of wife, moms.
Moms. Why we do it. I know I have a bit of an ironic tone at times. I've been trying to cut that out of my diet. But truthfully, moms, wives, the heroes. Yeah.
But what's been missing tremendously in tennis is the amount of moms actually playing tennis.
Yeah, well, it eats right into your 20s as a woman. If you're in your 20s, early 30s, and you want to have kids, I mean, you're traveling the globe. That's not exactly the greatest environment for pregnancy.
Yep. And losing money, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of tough to support a child when you're losing money.
Yeah.
You don't have health insurance or anything.
Yeah.
And so we have this structure now where we have a predictable schedule
Right.
of when they play. Half their matches are at home anyway,
Yeah.
which doesn't happen in traditional tennis. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
And then they actually get health benefits as well. So they have salaries, predictable schedules.
Mm-hmm.
They can actually travel and take part in tennis after college, right? Which I think to me has been very interesting as, we're trying to get women in this league and we're trying to get them to play, and how few moms there are. There's a lot more dads out there, different structures on, mom, dad stuff, but.
Well, I think you were mentioning to me something that I found really interesting yesterday is that you look at tennis for men, and men tend to try to pursue the dream a little longer. You get the journeymen guys who, they were good juniors and they're still trying to make it on the tour, and, they oscillate within the 400s and 800s, and they're living that journeyman life that we talk about, where they're eating Chipotle and Subway for dinner. And on the women's side, you're not really seeing that. You were saying you see sort of they're all in trying to be the top of the game, or they're out.
Yep.
And I think what I like here is that you're giving the women especially a place that they can play professional tennis in a more structured environment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that.
It's just going to be one of the greatest things that happen to tennis players throughout all, categories, because we will have junior teams with it as well on the long term. And so I think we're going to create a more exciting environment for kids. It's one thing when you're an adult, you kind of know what you signed up for, but when you're a kid, you don't know like this route. And so you're trying to figure it out. You love tennis, but then you find yourself alone a lot. And so
that's what did it for me. I mean, truthfully, the sport, I love tennis, still love it to this day, but the traveling, that's what just it got to me. I'm like, are you serious? I got to go here. I got to go there. I got to fly 15 hours there. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the global travel, but it was the global travel without the knowledge if you're even going to get into the tournament.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Right?
Did you ever fly to a tournament? You showed up and you're like, I didn't get in?
Well, no, but I've flown to a tournament, found out I'm playing the first seed.
Oh, yep.
Which is almost the same.
Yeah, you might, okay, you showed up. I went to Ecuador.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I actually qualified in a professional event first week.
Yeah.
So I'm like, sure, I'm gonna get in the next week.
Yeah.
I didn't get in. So I sat in Ecuador and ate a lot of ceviche while I had nothing to do for 2 weeks but train. Yeah. And that's just insane. That's why we spent all that money, hotel, everything. I didn't even get in because, if you're going to play professional tournaments right now in a traditional format, if you don't have a ranking and enough players sign up with professional rankings, then you don't get to play. And the only way you get in is with a wild card. And I'm not getting a wild card in Ecuador.
Well, even if you do well that first week like you did, the rankings take a while to update.
Yep.
So they're not going off your ranking you could win the tournament essentially and then have to not even get into the qualies for the next event.
Yep. Yeah. And so let's talk a little bit more, bringing it back to today. Yeah. A couple important key figures that we're going to have in today's matchup. So, we're going to start off with, the Atlanta coach, Marcelo Ferreira, the Brazilian from the Windy Hill Tennis Club here in Atlanta. Yeah. I mean, he knows team environments as well as anybody. Mm-hmm. Coached at Pepperdine, coaches Texas Tech, and he brings the fire. Even when he's winning, he's not smiling. He's not winning enough. Right. He needs to win bigger than that. And so it's going to be really interesting to see him coming up against Pascal. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. And then alongside Marcelo is going to be Michaela Gordon, the team captain, a former standout at Stanford, two-time NCAA champion, Pac-12 Singles Player of the Year. And she's been leading this team. I mean, she stepped up so well in one of her preseason matches. And so I'm excited to see how she leads this team with her game. And they'll be joined by Selma Ewing, Justine Lespeth, Trent Bride, another local Atlanta native, George Coupland, and Luis Francisco San Pedro. So it's going to be a lot of fun. The different personalities are going to come out. That's what I love about college tennis. It's like you can, in this format too, the whole structure and the dynamic and the energy of a match can change when you put in a different player. Right. Yeah. But if you go watch traditional tennis, it kind of is what it is once it starts. Yeah. And you either love it or you don't. Mm-hmm. But here, anything can happen at any moment in time. They sub someone in and everything just changed.
Yeah. Totally. I mean, like watching, exactly, you go into a traditional match, you know the energies to expect. Here, you can get a little sample platter.
Yep.
Get a little bit of fire, a little bit of more consistency, maybe bring in a closer at the end.
Yep. Yep. You know, the whole trio of like, you know, the three cheeses you get, you know, the guac, the cheese, and
Yeah.
the salsa.
Well, it's
So what we get?
the triage.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
the Holy Trinity.
the Holy Trinity. We got it all here. And 3 men, 3 women.
There you go. There you go.
Talking
3
about
matches. It's the rule of threes, really. In comedy, it's the rule of 3 as well. You say a joke 3 times. On the 3rd time, it's funny.
Well, so by the end of this match, we should have an entertaining show.
Yeah. And well, like I've already made the joke about, which I stole from you, which was your chips and guac joke from Chipotle, because you couldn't afford the guac.
Nope.
That's why you were a guacless child for a long time.
Yep.
So I made the joke once. I made it again. If one of us makes it again in 3 minutes, it'll be funny.
You know what I want to eat now, right?
Guac.
From Chipotle. You know, getting on to Team Tampa now. So this is where it's going to be a lot of fun because we have their coach, Pascal Collard, the Belgian native. 25 years of experience coaching in this sport, the CEO of the Patrick Mouratoglou Academy in Zephyr Hills, Florida, where we're going to have another match there in a few weeks. These 2 guys, they were going at it from last night to this morning. They're 2 of the biggest personalities in the sport of tennis. I can't wait to see what happens because I don't know how much they like each other.
Yeah, I was sensing a little bit of bad blood. They were smiling, and it was a little too much of a. It was like that tennis peacock. Like Marcelo was complimenting Pascal, and Pascal was hitting him back with even bigger compliments. I think Marcel told Pascal, he's like, "You might be the greatest coach in Florida," and I could just feel the tone was a little bit like, "Go fuck yourself."
Yep.
Pardon that.
No.
And Pascal hit him back with a little bit of Marcelo, man, you're looking good. And I just was like, you know, to the common eye, they were complimenting each other, but to me, a guy who's been around tennis players, this was war.
Oh yeah, and war will happen today. But the one you're probably not going to get it from, Nori Adams,
Right.
the captain of the Tampa team. Happiest guy you're ever going to find.
Yes.
Because coming from Sudan, everything his family's been through, he has such an appreciation for life and just being here and playing this sport. I mean, it is unbelievable. His story, his family's story of resilience. So they can be down 40. He's smiling.
Yeah.
You know, he's just so appreciated to be out here. But what he does is he brings this positive energy to his team that really uplifts them.
Yep.
Whenever things are down, you just see him smiling and you can get great perspective on like, hey, things aren't so bad.
Right.
And then it actually helps them get back into it and not overthink, and they just play, you know, and then you add in, which is the best part, here's this massive serve from the happiest guy here.
Yeah.
Big serve, big forehand, big smile.
Right.
Smiles.
Yeah. The Trinity.
The Holy Trinity right there.
Yeah.
So, and they'll be joined by Raul Garcia, the Kennesaw State graduate, plays Davis Cup for the Bolivian team, Joaquin Benoit, the Argentinian, Amy Zhu, the Michigan Wolverine, Christina Wozniak, and they'll be joined by Jada Danielle. So it just a lot of personalities here, which is what we want. But we have some newcomers coming in today for Team Tampa. They've been looking out to build this team and find exactly how they want their rosters. And we're going to have some different types of tennis, right? We were watching Amy Zhu playing yesterday. You know, she has a heavy forehand coming out there right there. Michaela's going to have a much flatter game. You know, we have Christina, who has a much flatter game as well. But then you have Justine Lespes, which we didn't talk about. So, you know, she went undefeated at the #1 spot at Georgia Gwinnett College.
Not bad.
Over multiple years.
Best D2 team and one of the best D2 teams in the nation, right?
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care where you're at.
Yeah.
Undefeated.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I mean, you think you get bored a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, even Djokovic gets bored a little bit, and then he loses a match.
Yeah.
Justine, no, undefeated.
Just
So
robot.
that's going to be really interesting. You know, Trent Bride, you know, the Georgia Bulldog, he's going to have his local fans that are going to be coming out, you know, and then George Coupland. Coops! I mean, Coops.
The Coop!
He's unbelievable. What was so interesting watching him in the preseason match a few weeks ago was, even though it's only one serve, the bigger the lead, the bigger he served.
Okay.
And the better he played.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing is how are they going to use the serve? You got the one serve. Are you going to hit a second serve? I was talking to the British guy on Team Atlanta. What's his name again?
George Coupland.
George Coop.
There you go.
I was talking to Coop. And Coop told me he's using the second, but when he gets a big enough lead and he starts to feel, it's almost like in Street Fighter when you got your finger down on the button for a long enough time, you're building up that Hadouken.
Yep.
I feel like with the first serve, in this, you're hitting the second, you start to win, you hit a little bit more slice on the second, a little bit more bite on the second. Next thing you know, you're ripping first serves, but you're making them because you've built that energy.
Yep. Yeah, and then you have the momentum going, and then what gets to be really tough is when you're the opposing team and you're down.
Yeah.
So we've seen that happen a couple of times where when they're down, they actually rush even more because they have the clock against them. And they're trying to bring it back, and they actually play worse and worse and worse. And they go bigger because they go for the +2.
Yeah.
And, hopefully, these players are starting to understand, like, okay, because this is new for everybody.
Yeah.
And hopefully they get to be comfortable with that clock and say, I still have to be efficient. We've had two blowouts, and that's really why it happened. It was just very close, but once somebody got a little bit of a big lead, you could sense it from the other team. They're like, oh my gosh, it's pulling away, play faster. And then the team that's up, they actually slow down.
Right.
They use the clock.
Right.
They go to the towel. And then that actually helps them play better because they're calmer.
Right.
And that push and pull, I think as our players get more experience, will be interesting to see what happens.
Nice. Yeah, time management is a huge part of tennis that is evolving at all times.
Let's see if we can get some of the coaches now to join in us so we can take a break. Pascal, Tampa coach, leader, welcome.
Thank you.
You got your third match coming on now. What's it been like the first couple matches, especially also in training? What have you learned and what have you implemented in practice to try to get them ready for today?
I think we have the best team. So there's very little preparation to do, to be honest with you, but we're going to be a little bit more strategic than we were in the past. We had many different players playing and the team is coming together, definitely.
So, and how have practices changed, to try to accommodate the fitness side of it? That's something we're talking about, to where the nonstop play, figuring out when to put substitutions in. So much of it is knowing about your players, and you do have some new players in today. So tell me what's been going on there, and has anything changed from where you started versus where you are today?
Yeah, definitely. We had a lot of new players, so that was not always easy. You have to understand what they're doing, the career, where they're playing next week. And so it's a fine line. Do I want to make some little tweak in their game? Yes. Can I? It's very hard, it's difficult. So we just try to make them feel actually happy, truly happy and enjoy Intense. I think if they enjoy Intense, the rest is gonna fall in place.
And the one thing that I'd love to ask you about, because this is what I've noticed, is that, you have one of the biggest personalities here, right? So much passion, so much energy, but it's been really interesting to watch when you show that energy as the coach and when you go quiet and you wait, how you choose your moments.
It's all about the players, right? It's not about the coach, to be honest with you. I think we have an important role, but the player is the most important piece. So you need to feel when they need that kind of push and when you need to be quiet. And I think that's what a good coach is, I think I always say teaching a forehand and a backhand, it's kind of easy. There's no magic, but feeling the player and try to understand when to say what and what word to use, I think that's critical. And it can be game changing.
Awesome. Well, good luck today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, and here we have Coach Marcelo Ferreira for the Atlanta team. Welcome, Marcelo. What's it been like as you've been preparing this week for today's match?
Well, I guess things don't really change when you're preparing for a match. There's always a little bit of nerves leading up to a match, no doubt. But I just wanted to make sure that the players, first and foremost, even more than tennis, they embrace each other. I feel like in a team environment, sometimes players that might not even be as good to beat somebody else. In a team environment, if there's unity, they'll be able to get the job done. So it was really about spending time together, joking with each other, just really creating that nice, positive environment, which allowed for some really, really good practices. We're going into an environment where we don't know most of the players that we're playing against. So there's no way to really create a specific strategy against every player. So it was more about emphasizing what my players do well, and hopefully that's enough to take care of business.
You talked about practice. Now, This is going to be your third match?
Second match.
So this is going to be your second match.
Yeah.
How have practices evolved from your first match to today as you've seen how this format plays out? Have you changed any practices or did you feel good about what you've been doing? Tell me about that there.
Well, after watching especially George, Mick, and Trent play the first match against Knoxville, at that point, I didn't know them that well, right? So he allowed me to see some holes in their games and weaknesses that they might need to work on, but also he allowed me to earn their trust to be able to approach them during practice and tell them to change something. It's very tough when you're still getting to know players and players getting to know coaches. You want to be very careful on adjustments that you want to make until you feel like you actually earned that. For somebody like Michaela, it's been more about not being as perfectionist. I think is a good quality to have, but sometimes it holds her back. I want her to just play free and careless sometimes, just like go have some fun. Working when it comes to the technical movement efficiency part, just doing a better job getting set and stable for the forehand so she can really step in. For George, he's got more of a flatter style, holds an Eastern grip. So it comes down to his movement. He's tall, hitting Eastern. When he doesn't move properly, he can struggle a little bit with the forehand and the backhand. So really making sure that he was always set and anticipating well. Trent, again, he's got so many incredible skills. I think for him, is just making sure that he's confident and ready to rock and roll.
Now, and we talk about the team unity, great environment, and all of that. As we look to the other side of the net, we have a great, powerful, strong personality in Pascal.
Right.
And we notice sometimes, he can insert himself in the match.
Right.
Have you had any discussions with your players about, hey, stay focused on your side of the court, how to handle some of that, whenever there's a controversial call?
I briefly did it during breakfast. I honestly look forward to that. I think it's the special thing about this league that's allowed and encouraged. I believe it's going to bring the best out of a bunch of players. What I did tell the team, listen, he's going to try to play mind games, be loud, and try to interrupt whatever you're doing. Every time that he does do that, take it as a compliment, because if he feels the need to do so, it's because we're doing something right. Just like I tell players all the time, when somebody's being criticized, keep doing what you're doing because you're probably bothering people. So if Pascal feels the need to come to the net and try to interrupt our play and my coaching, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing because clearly it's bothering him.
Awesome stuff. Well, good luck out there.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Get intense. Welcome to the Intense preseason event at James Creek Tennis Center against Tampa. We are ready to get underway. Let's get our lineup.
It's time to introduce our visitors, Team Tampa. A former Michigan Wolverine who has dominated on the pro circuit. With 8 ITF doubles titles and a career-high ranking of 381, she's a force to be reckoned with. Give it up for Amy Jude. A doubles specialist from Ukraine with a deep NCAA tournament run. A former collegiate star who reached the NCAA doubles round of 16 and earned SEC academic honor rolls at Mississippi State, Christina Wozniak. She made history at NC State by winning the 2022 NCAA Women's Doubles Championship, the first national title in program history. A dual ITA All-American in singles and doubles with 5 ITF doubles titles to her name. Make some noise for Jada Daniel. From Argentina, a decorated college star. It was the 2024 ITA Southeast Region Senior Player of the Year and Peach Belt Conference Co-Player of the Year. Let's hear it for Joaquin Benoit. A Bolivian native and relentless force on the court. He was named to the ASUN All-Freshman team and ASUN Second Team All-Conference. He's ready to fight for Team Tampa, Raul Garcia. From Sudan, he earned his first ATP point at just 16 years old and competed for Florida A&M University. A dynamic right-handed player with a powerful game. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Smiles, Team Tampa captain, Nori Adams. From Belgium, a world-class coach with over 25 years of experience, he has led many professional players to success on the ATP and WTA tours, now guiding top talent as head coach of Team Tampa and Moratoglu Academy. Give it up for Coach Pascal Collard. And now, for your hometown, Team Atlanta. Hailing from Spain, he made history in the NAIA, an ITA singles All-American with a perfect 16-0 singles record, leading his team to the NAIA National Championship. Give it up for Luis Sampedro. A former British pro known for his strong play on grass and carpet, he reached career-high rankings of number 575 in singles and 622 in doubles. He was an All-SEC selection at Mississippi State. Welcome, George Hoopland. A two-time NAIA All-American at Georgia Gwinnett College and the 2023 NAIA Singles National Champion. She boasted an undefeated 34-0 singles record in 2024, leading her team to consecutive national titles. Hailing from France, it's the Frenchie, Justine Lespez. A former USC and Texas A&M star, she was a collegiate All-American and All-Pac-12 first-team force who won her first professional tournament back in 2017. Bringing her firepower to Team Atlanta, Salma Ewing. A former University of Georgia ace, he was a three-time ITA All-American and a dominant player for the Bulldogs. He reached a career-high ATP ranking of 625 in singles and was a top 10 player in juniors, competing in Challenger and Grand Slam events. It's Trent Bride. A Stanford standout and two-time NCAA champion, she was the Pac-12 Singles Player of the Year in 2019 and a four-time All-American. After working in venture capital as the youngest investor ever hired by her firm, she was since transitioned back to professional tennis. Your Atlanta team captain, Michaela Gordon. A seasoned tennis coach from Sao Paulo, Brazil, he has led programs at Pepperdine University and Texas Tech. Now as the high-performance tennis manager at Windy Hill Athletic Club in Atlanta, he brings over 15 years of coaching experience to develop top-tier tennis talent. It's Coach Marcelo Ferreira.
Come on, team, come on. Bring it.
One more time for Team Tampa and Team Atlanta.
And Intense, you can cheer, move around, and scream whenever you want.
Welcome, everyone, to a new era of tennis where we have another preseason showdown of the Intense League. I'm J.Y. Obona, and we're here at the James Creek Tennis Center where we have Team Atlanta taking on Team Tampa here in this fast-paced, professional team format that brings dynamic new strategies and a fan-driven atmosphere that redefines the game. We have gotten ready to get started here with Trent Bride, the Atlanta native, taking on Adam Norrie. Norrie smiles from Team Tampa, the captain right there. And here we are, we have an 8-7 lead, 8-all now. We have a tie game going on in this new team format where we have one serve only going on, and you can see Trent Bride here going to his trusty kick serve to get the match started. And it's gonna be an interesting matchup because Norrie's gonna do everything he can to find his forehand, but Trent is going to do everything to find his forehand. So it is going to be about who can successfully find their forehand first. Here we are, 9-all. We play 10-minute bolt sessions, and we play 3 of them for the men's, women's, and mixed doubles matches for a total of 90 minutes of tennis. We see Trent Bride there really going after his forehand there, and then unfortunately creating the unforced error, but that's where he's gonna win or lose this match, on his forehand. We see Norrie there trying to run around his backhand, but couldn't do it quite fast enough, and so he gets jammed there. We have a 10-10 tie here. There he is running around his forehand once again. We'll see if Trent starts to serve more to his forehand as the match goes. Norrie there trying to attack Trent over there, so Trent likes to camp out and defend his backhand when he's on defense, and Norrie knows that, so he's trying to hit to his forehand to get him into his comfort zone. There he is trying to run around it one more time. Just hasn't quite found the footwork. We don't know if it's nerves right now or just needs to get faster, but a few too many unforced errors there. Running around one more time, playing into Trent's forehand. Tricky, you know, that's where sometimes you got to pick your spots there to see if you actually want to run around the backhand or not. And there he just couldn't get around, and that's the 3rd unforced error now where he just couldn't quite get around the backhand to find his forehand. There, much better position, setting it up there. Great momentum going forward. Too good. That is +2. So anytime you hit a ball that is untouched, we call it a clean winner. It is +2. 14-12 here for Tampa. No substitutions yet. We see Raul Garcia have the racket in hand. He is itching to play, but Norrie's starting to play better and better. Great slide by Trent. What defense. Too good by Norrie Adams there. Big fist pump to his team. They're loving it right now. Inside in forehand all day long right now by Norrie. Slice change of pace. Inside in one more time, and we got Trent sliding around like he's playing hockey over here. Just can't quite find Norrie's backhand. We got a sub in, but is it gonna happen in time? Norrie's playing, he's gonna recognize it, plays it fast enough, but Coops is aware. And Norrie's just almost, he hesitated there. Should have just gone right for it when he recognized it. We do play server's pace here. We do not have to wait for the returner to be ready. (17-14) Tampa lead here. 3 minutes left in this 10-minute bolt. Let's see if Coops starts to whip out the serve, and you know, he's been sitting a little long, so he shows the tightness of his shoulder. It's been a while since they last hit some balls. It's gonna take him a minute to get him warmed up. And now Raul Garcia steps in nice and cold. He just kind of rolls in the kicker. Raul Garcia, the Bolivian, playing Davis Cup there. Great volley.
There you go, Coops.
Both of these guys a little bit cold, so they'll get a chance to feel each other out here as they warm up. Another one trying to run around his backhand. Big forehand. Raul's gonna have one of the biggest forehands in the world as he leads the Bolivian Davis Cup team. And now he's leading Team Tampa here. Great little angle. Oh! Oh! Coop said, no, sir, my turn. 19-17. Fans getting involved there. Fans can talk anytime they want. We do not need silence here. We get used to the noise. We play on. Ooh, tight call. Ball overruled. Ball was good. Ball was good.
Nice try.
How can you
Nice
see
try.
from here, man?
Nice
Oh,
try.
come on, man. Give me a break.
Nice try.
That is a tough call. Far sideline. Goes for a +2. And then Coops is just locked in now, making sure the referee saw that call right there. Did they wake up the sleeping giant as he was getting cold? With the serve and volley, not many players in this one serve format can do that because they don't have a big, trusty second serve, but Coops does. Great return. Touch gonna be short. And with the +2, look at that. Snake forehand by Raul. Huge fist pump to the team. Hat is backwards now. That means he is locked in. Just gives it back. That's tough. Could have built on some of the momentum there. 24-20 for Tampa. No call by Raul there. That call looked to have come from his team, but not by Raul. Raul nice and focused. Didn't cause the confusion there. Coop stayed focused. We're used to the noise. Lots of players trying to take advantage of this one serve rule, trying to run around because they know they play a little safe. And we have the first 10 minutes finished here. We have a short break. What an intense start, 26-20.
That's why I say it's important to get the nerves, right? We're rushing a little bit. We're rushing a little bit. We just got to take a deep breath, work the point, not in a passive way, but we got to be a little bit more patient. Okay, you did a lot of great things, but like a shot like that, I don't want you to go for. There's no need for you to go so flat. Okay, we got through the first round. Okay, it's a 6-point lead. It's nothing. We hit a couple of winners. We're back in the match. Okay, but we just gotta make sure that we're being patient. We see what Nori is gonna bring. It's exactly what we said. Dangerous, but we gotta make sure that he can only be dangerous if the ball is also bouncing short for him to attack. Aggressive with intelligence. Intelligence.
And as we move into our second 10-minute bolt of R3, so as a reminder, we have 3 10-minute bolts for the men's singles. Same format will be for the women's singles, and then the mixed doubles. And we're going to be interchanging every 10 minutes, taking a short break, and we come back out. So we see the intensifiers on both teams here. So the intensifiers are the ball kids. They work for each team. We see the Team Tampa intensifiers with their pink shirts. We see the Team Atlanta intensifiers with their green shirts, and their job is to make sure that these players are getting the balls as soon as possible so that they can play. That is their team. They are part of it, so they want to make sure they are locked in, helping their players get ready to play as fast as possible. Big serve going into the forehand, another one running around his backhand. But Raul solid on the backhand. Drops it short here, and you do not want to drop a ball short of Coops' forehand. Good defense by Raul.
Hey,
Come on right there by Raul. What defense. Coops has not seen many of those balls come back in his time. Raul, great movement out there to slice that ball back in. That spin from Raul with his snake forehand. We've seen it right now. 28-23, 8.5 minutes left in this bolt. Giving it back there, couldn't ride the momentum. Crowd really getting involved. Just pulls off right there. Now we see why Coops has really been trying to find his forehand. Getting a little shaky right there, but look at that attitude, trying to bounce his feet, lock back in. Great kick wide, but great defense to get him back in. Coops found the play he wanted. Great defense to offense. No hesitation, takes it, but he misses. And now we see San Pedro in for his first action. Let's see if it takes him a few minutes, and we see a little bit of a short return right there.
Oh, every point, take your time. You're on a roll, you're on a roll. Best forehand ever.
Pascal just loving it right now. Luis trying to stand a little farther back, works it back in. El Matador from Spain, taking his time in these points, working himself in. Coach Marcelo trying to tell him to get his way into that backhand right there. Big kick by Raul. Look at that thing kick up above Luis's shoulders. Pascal talking a little trash to Marcelo over there, letting him know he's rolling with Raul, and Marcelo should probably sub somebody in.
Come on, let's go.
33-25 here. Let's see this first serve from Luis. Let's see where his shoulder's at. Nice deep breath, taking his time. We've seen a lot of players miss that first serve. And looks, we have people unhappy with the call. A little bit of a miss hit, and it worked out. Everything going Raul and Team Tampa's way. Miss hit, spun into Luis. Really tough return to hit. See a little bit of a smile there. They made him laugh. Did they just get him to lose his focus? And actually, we see Pascal right there telling him, hey, slow down a little bit. And we get a timeout, our first timeout of the match. So the team that is serving is the only one that can call a timeout. And we take a timeout here. 9-point lead by Tampa. Trying to get a little organized right there. Big energy by Tampa as they're fired up right now. Here we go. Another missed serve right there. Back to a 10-point lead. Raul nice and calm. Gives it right back. Ball was out, looked like it was curving in after the leg core, and Pascal's like, come on, stop it with that, you gotta be joking. Luis is starting to loosen up a little bit right there, going for his forehand. Almost, ball was good. There's the overrule right there. Another overrule +2. And we are back now, back even. Pascal is upset. That's a big call there, 37-29. This time it was at least on the near sideline. Luis deliberately trying to play into Raul's forehand. You know, we see it in this new generation of tennis where a lot of people that have this Western, semi-Western forehand, they prefer to play from the outside of the court. Raul struggling a little bit towards the right side. Boom, off the scoreboard. Unfortunately, you don't get bonus points for that one. You got to get it inside the lines, buddy. They want to get him to come in. Very smart move here. We've seen every player take a couple points to kind of get warmed up. And so this is a way with that lead, give him a little bit of cushion where if he doesn't win the first couple points, not a lot of pressure here. And he comes out swinging. Didn't get the first one, but doesn't deter him from the next one. I think that might be the first backhand winner we've seen in the whole match. Do we have somebody that actually has a good backhand right now? Serving big, confident. Looks like Team Tampa has an extra player on the sideline, though he's wearing all white. Not sure if he brought the right uniform today. Great little dance moves over there by that team. Great engagement by them. 40-33 here, 3 minutes left. Goes for it again. He's got that lead, he's got that cushion, feels comfortable. One of the first ones we've seen not try to run around so many returns. We do play Let's here, so we do play that. It's a +2 right there. +2 again, 42-34. We play Let's here in traditional tennis. You stop that, you get to serve again, but we play it, and it turned out to be in Joaquin Benoit's benefit. Luis there just didn't quite get his weight forward, trying to overly spin that one, and just spun it straight into the bottom of the net. Forehand by Joaquin, ball was good. So now we got everybody questioning calls here. Everyone looks to the referee now. We'll see if that creates a little bit of nervousness. Going big there, Joaquin, feeling confident. When you get this many +2s, it definitely gives you room to go for it a little bit more. Great defense. Joaquin unloaded on that forehand, but great footwork by Luis to stay down through it. Defending the same trajectory, came back and not overspin it. Big serve. That's the biggest one by Luis today. Inside out angle with the slide. Did he get it? Just wide. That would have been one of the shots of the day to curve that in. Almost hit somebody in the crowd and almost still got it in. What defense? Serving and volleying. Look at this, feeling confident. Is this a new strategy to try to find something? Luis was kind of struggling to find rhythm off the ground stroke. Was serving better, serving and volleying, but a good return there. And we got Trent Bride, the Atlanta native, back in. You do get substitutions. You can sub in whenever you want. It gets tricky when you're the one returning and you're trying to sub in because it is server's pace. But there they felt they had enough time. Joaquin was taking his time to get ready. Joaquin, both sides going after it. You typically don't see this from the Argentinian-type tennis players that grew up more on clay. They build more points. He's definitely taken on some of this hardcore tennis he got playing at Georgia Gwinnett College, playing flatter, playing through the court, and he's comfortable playing offense. He doesn't need to wait too long for it. 46-40. This lead's cutting in a little bit. Oh my gosh, Marcelo's gonna lose his mind. This is tough.
I mean, what the heck is this?
Impossible, I'm on the far sideline to see it. Best rally of the day. Disappointing that it finishes on something like that, especially as we finish the 10-minute vault. Last point, what a point to finish with some controversy there. Pascal getting in there, telling Marcelo, you know that ball was way inside of the line. Here we are starting our third and final bolt of the men's singles match. Team Atlanta had a big huddle there. They are together as ever, even though they're down 8 right now. Trent Bride staying in for Team Atlanta. Joaquin Benoit from Team Tampa here. Seeing a lot of missed returns from Joaquin, but he's been rewarded with his offensiveness, getting a lot of +2s for his team. We saw a lot of controversy to finish off on that last bolt with that close line call. It was near the sideline of the referee. Great open stance backhand. Unloads on the forehand and slides in and goes for the +2. Dives for it. They're saying it's only one. I will say, I think that was actually +2. Joaquin playing quick. Gets the... Trying to play quick as they were protesting that call. From my point of view, it did look like it was actually a double bounce. They were protesting that call, and Joaquin tried to play quick, sneak in a point, an unfortunate miss for it, but really smart, really aware, just didn't work out. 50-43. Glad to see Trent was okay because he took a tumble there. I'm telling you, this guy should have been a hockey player with the way he's sliding around. Got the build for it, too. I can see him being a defenseman and just chucking somebody into the fence. Should be the glass. I don't know my hockey. Just good intentions. Ball was short, just went through the middle, and we got Miles coming back in here. It's been a minute, but all these players now we're seeing, they're feeding off each other, warming up more as they're waiting on the sideline. We'll see. It's been a while since Miles came in. We've seen Miles loving that forehand inside in and forehand cross. Definitely loves that play. There he is one more time. This time Trent's ready for it. Big forehand. What does he do on the backhand? We haven't seen him hit many backhands. Trying to play it awesome. I gotta say, that was a beautiful flight to get it to come in. Sure, yep. Great kick wide, and Trent forced the winner there because there was so much of an opening. He didn't want to give Smiles an opportunity at a +2, but now we got a 10-point lead here for Team Tampa. What a slice there. Slice and dice here. Look at this. Trying to change up the pace. Went for it. Let's see if they go more to that strategy as time evolves. 55-46. And Trent, one of the first times we've seen somebody really slow down as they get into the next point. Nerve starting to come in. Ooh, just missed it there. What do we have going on over here? Somebody crossing the court. Welcome.
Good to be here. Where are we again? Madagascar?
Well, we are in an intense match right now. What do you see out there? I mean, you've been in the stands.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Look, I'm a tennis traditionalist through and through. I'll live and die by the strawberry and cream lifestyle. But I gotta say, team tennis has always gotten me going. And I really enjoy that atmosphere out here.
How much do you think this referee can actually see from down there? 3 controversial calls. What did you see over there? Tell me, was it in?
Look, I own an optometry station. I own 3 of them, actually, and he's been in a couple times, so let's just say no.
Well, we got a 59-48. I think this is the biggest lead of the match for Team Tampa. It's been very quiet over there in Team Atlanta to figure out. Do we have another one?
Oh, he pulled it out.
They're going for it today. Some big forehand.
I'm like, the serves are bigger than I expected. The Coop is going for some big serves. Let's go, Coop.
And Trent taking that tumble. I mean, the way Trent's sliding around, he should be a hockey player.
No, yeah, he should play for the National Predators, moving around like that.
Are they that good, though? I think he belongs on, like, the Blackhawks.
How about the Toronto Maple Leafs?
They could use him.
Yeah, they could use a lot of it. They need a rebuild. They need some intense energy behind them.
They need a forehand like that coming in. That's what the Maple Leafs need.
Right there. Get a
Huge.
Stanley Cup for that. Love that energy.
63-49.
That's a two-pointer.
That's a two-pointer. Coops just blown away, didn't know what to think. I think he's blind right now. That ball came so fast.
Great to see that the substitutions happen live. You're not really necessarily calling the time and then getting the sub.
Yep.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, it's been it keeps the flow of the match.
Yeah.
We don't have too much start and stop. Let's play. Let's play.
A bit of a, and I say this in the nicest way as a guy who's a part owner, it's got a bit of a WWE feel to it.
Yep. We want that energy. We want that entertainment.
Yeah.
We saw some fans even trying to scream while someone's serving. Ooh, slicing and dicing. Big guy got to get low.
Get low, Coop. Like you do at the dance club. Tries the saber. We've seen a lot of attacking the return here, which is a good play, I guess. Conserve some energy, go for broke.
What I haven't seen, though, not a lot of good backhands. Seen a lot of good forehands.
Yeah.
And that's why I thought we saw a lot of people. There he is. Well,
Speak of the devil.
there you go.
Oh, for
Plus two. This is why I don't coach.
No, I do the same. As soon as I notice something, my wife says, I already noticed it a couple of months ago.
Underhand serve, and it worked. Miles wasn't quite ready. Team Tampa might have gotten a little bit comfortable with that big lead. We see Atlanta now coming back. There's the backhands I was talking about. Find the backhands, win the match.
Here we go.
Goes for it.
Oh, goes for the bomb.
Raul Garcia, racket in hand. Garcia did great for about 15 minutes stretch there.
They seem to be having fun on the bench over there. Atlanta seems a little bit more tightly wound. Is that because of Marcello? Is he a bit more of a tightly wound coach?
I think he needs a coxinha because right now he needs to relax a little bit. I think
Yeah.
a little bit tense. There's still a lot of tennis to play. The +2s, you can come back. Look at him there, trying to feel his beard there, trying to find something in his facial hair to see if they can figure it out.
I'm pretty sure I saw him in the parking lot drinking Negro Modelo's before this, so.
Let's see, Coop's calm here.
It's Coop's court.
And Pascal distracting the referee as the point goes on.
Get there, get there. Oh!
Great shot. I've heard they were working on that in practice.
The net courts, yep. You know, there's an old adage in tennis that if the ball hits the tape and rolls your way, you're working harder, right?
Yep.
Gotta get that there. My coach has been trying to get me to fix that.
You got to put a little more practice out there. You know, it starts in practice. How much do you get to practice?
I get out there about 3-4 times a week with my coach. Coach Marcello, actually, is my coach over at Windy Hills. I call him Marcello. Others call him Marcello.
Marcello, Limoncello.
Yeah.
Coach.
Yeah.
Underhand serve didn't quite work out by Coops. Just seems like any time Atlanta's gotten a little bit of momentum, they lose it. Close call there. I think players are a little afraid to make calls now that they know the referee's on top of it.
Yeah. Oh, cooking it.
I've seen these guys hit a lot of scoreboards today. We got to tell them that it's not part of the game. But if you hit a winner and hit the scoreboard, it should be +3.
Three-pointer?
Overrule +2. We now have our 5th overrule right there. This is incredible.
Oh, good.
He misses. 73-63. Once again, we see the +2, gives the point right back.
Oh, get that Coop. He's sneaking in.
Oh, that's a late call.
You see, Coop, watch how he's coming in and then he's stopping. He needs to keep that momentum going. Keep it going. Look at it. He comes forward and then he's stopping. Okay, that was a bit better. What do I know?
I think he should jump in, put on his green shirt.
Me, get
and
up.
coach, get out there.
I hurt my psoas a couple of days ago, so otherwise I would. Otherwise I definitely would.
Big serve by Rob. Biggest serve of the day.
He's really hitting it.
14-point lead. Team Atlanta, look at that. Very, very quiet.
Yeah. See, you're right. You've got to get that earlier.
Backman. Okay, shadowing. Your number one tell for me, anytime you start shadowing, not a good thing.
Right. Because you're looking for that feel. You know what I find is a tell? When you start tying your shoes, trying to slow things down. My friend Saul does that to me every time we play on Monday nights. He gets up 4-3 and he starts tying the acing.
I'm a big on shoes kind of guy.
You are? You're big into on?
Big into on shoes.
I only wear Slazenger. I only do Slazenger everything.
Whoa! And he gives him the good night.
Good night and good luck. Wow. I only wear Slazenger. Interesting the dichotomy of the teams. I mean, you're looking over here, you're seeing a bit more of like what I might call a clay quarter. I just met him, but maybe he's a clay quarter. We got Coop, who's a banger. And then we got the Junkyard Dog here, who's just playing in the NHL, scrappy.
We'll see what the women's team tries to do. They're going to be definitely coming in with a deficit. Let's see how many points we get in here.
Now, you can stack your perfect intense team. You got 3 people. What archetypes are you going? Are you going a clay quarter, a banger, and a grinder? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you need a big server.
Okay.
Because anyone who wins points on their serve here, it's so beneficial with the one serve rule. Even if it's just a kick serve, it's got to be a good kick serve. You know, you have to have the grinder.
Yeah.
And really, because when you come in as a sub and you haven't played, you can't have somebody needing to work in the match. And usually the big hitters, they kind of need a little bit of a rhythm. You know, and then you need somebody who you got to have the counter puncher.
Yeah.
The solid one that you can just rely on, that can play just enough. I think so. You need all 3.
Yeah. And do you think that's how they're designing their teams? You think anybody's just going 3 big heads, or you're going? Is that how you're kind of thinking every team's doing it? Big server, counter puncher, grinder.
I think that's what they're trying to do. We'll see if they can accomplish that. And, you know, we'll see also how they can develop players throughout the season.
Yeah, I got to get some strawberries and cream. It was great chatting with you.
Great chatting with you. Here we got Trent right here, Atlanta team. Big deficit.
Yeah.
What's going on out there? You're sliding around, took a tumble. Glad you're okay, but you guys got a deficit as the women's singles comes on. What happened there?
Yeah, I mean, those guys, they don't give you any rhythm at all. I mean, they go big on every shot. And I felt like all of us, we couldn't really find a good rhythm where we could get in rallies and construct points. They were going for broke, and they were hitting a lot of winners, and a lot of things were going their way. And I think we just left a couple too many balls short. But I'm confident in the girls here. They're all playing really well, and they're gonna get it back for us.
Talk about the ref a little bit. I hate to talk about the ref, but it's been a real thing. How was that call, that inside in after that long point?
Yeah, that one is a great question, because going into the next bolt, I couldn't stop thinking about that we were down 8 points instead of 5. Because that counted for 2. If I would have gotten that point, we would have only been down 5. Now we're down 8 going into the next one. So that one hurt a lot. That one really, but you know, I mean, that's just the way the game is, right? So you gotta take it the way it is and move on. But that definitely made a big difference.
Yep. All right, well, good luck to you guys the rest of the way. Thanks for taking a second here. I saw one of the biggest points, huge forehand, flying in. Clearly, you guys are feeling confident. Tell me how things felt out there from the start to where you are now with I can't even do the math. That's a big lead.
It's great. It always started with the energy, you know, with your teammate. Everybody, I felt the energy was there. I felt everybody was supportive, you know, whether you're down or you're up, everybody was supportive. So you carry that weight behind you. Like, I gotta step up. I gotta play my best game. I gotta play my best tennis. I gotta hit my best shot. I gotta move the best way. You know, when you're feeling tired, you gotta sub out. You can't be like, oh, I'm tired, but I might have a chance. No, it's like I started to feel tired a little bit. I felt like I was a little bit off, and then like, okay, I gotta let somebody in, and then. You know, Raul came in, and then he's just carried, you know, and then I'm taking a breather, and then Joaquin stepped in and then did greater. So, like, I feel like it's that team chemistry, that team energy that has a lot to do with everything and with the league right now. And then the girls are not playing, but they're supporting us. So, like, it's all about the team. It's everybody stepping behind you whenever you're on the court. It's not a one-man thing. It's a team thing with a coach, everything. The coach got your back on the calls and all that. You always feel like there's somebody behind you. You're not out there alone battling, you know. You don't have to worry about anything. Everybody got you. The moment you start having, like, negative thoughts when you miss an easy ball, like, your teammate is there, like, it's okay, let's go, come on. And then you start to lose, you know, that negative thought right away. And then you start being positive. And without realizing, you start jumping around and having that positive mindset to go out and ball and play your best tennis. So, yep.
Well, and you mentioned something about the calls and everything. You know, is there a little hesitation now on anything that's a little bit close to maybe just play it, not call it? You know, we've seen both sides. I mean, just have some overrules. How is it feeling with trying to call things when it's a little bit tight?
Yeah, I mean, it's natural. It's natural. You know, the referee is a little bit further away, so he has a little bit of a different view. You there, you might have a different view as well. So it's kind of hard. So I don't blame them. I don't blame the referee. It's natural. It happens. Nobody's perfect. You know, it happens. So it's fine. Like, I'm fine with it. Yes, at the time, you might be going at it, but it's normal. Like, there's nothing crazy. You get good calls, you get bad calls, and you know, we got away with one. We got a couple of bad calls a couple of times. It's part of the game. You can't do anything about it. So.
Awesome. Well, good luck out there.
Thank you. I appreciate you. See y'all.
As we get started here with Michaela and Amy with the mini tennis to decide who gets to serve or receive, we got Coops, George Coupland here. Then you got Team Atlanta down a little bit big. What happened to you guys out there?
I think just with the format, it's so tough. Like, you've got the tempo, if it goes against you, the composure. Like, as soon as they kind of got ahead, they were hitting winners. Like, they were playing very, very good. Like, I felt like I had to, like, take it more. I had to take more risk. And sometimes that pays off, sometimes it doesn't. Like, so, I mean, the difference in score was like five points per bolt. But then over the 3 bolts, makes it quite a big difference. So the girls have a battle coming on right now.
Yeah.
Girls have a battle, and yeah, disappointed, but we're still confident.
All right. Well, we have your captain here, Michaela, coming on, playing against Amy Zhu. You know, what's the energy been like? Because this is as intense as it's been out here. And how much of a factor do you think it's been in trying to, that momentum that Tampa's been able to carry?
Yeah, how much fun is it, though?
Yeah.
How much fun when both teams are, like, kind of going at each other, like, yeah, a bit of banter, a few bad calls. Like, it's all a part of it. I wish you know, some calls went our way, but here he is. His tennis for us, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's been a lot of fun. I know you guys are down. I'm going to let you get back to your team, but you know, I love the energy out here, and hopefully the show continues.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. Bye. Keep smashing it, man.
Here we go. We have Amy Zhu here for Team Tampa. 85-69 for Team Tampa, but we got the captain of the Atlanta team, Michaela Gordon. 8 minutes left here. A little slice to change it up. Didn't quite work. Michaela ripped that backhand through the court. Two points there for Team Tampa with that inside-out winner. We've seen a lot of aggressive returns here off this one serve only rule. Kick slice, these players are gonna have to feel each other out a little bit more as they go on through these next 30 minutes. A big come on there from Michaela, trying to get things going a little bit right there. Huge intensity for Tampa in that first men's singles match. They came out firing. Things have kind of settled in a little bit after a little bit of a longer break. And that's been the one thing that we've seen for Atlanta today. Anytime they win a couple points, they just haven't been able to build on the momentum. If you take away a lot of the +2s, this has been a very close match. But with this format, Team Tampa has built a big lead, but within that format, Team Atlanta can also come back pretty quickly. Both teams standing here, locked in. So we got 2 points in a row there for Team Atlanta. Michaela getting the ball from the intensifiers right there. The intensifiers are, each team has their own intensifiers that are ready to go whenever they need to get a ball for their players. 3 in a row. Been a while since it's been 3 points in a row. Haven't been +2s though, so the gap hasn't gotten that much smaller, but it is 3 in a row. We'll see if they can build on that momentum. Great service motion there. Very traditional, very classic by Michaela there. And Amy playing a little bit more of a spinny forehand here, and now she flattens it out. Look at that angle, and this has been one of the themes today, that Team Tampa keeps finding those +2s, and that's been a big thing. Beautiful angle, forehand cross court there. Support of her teammates there as she misses that serve. 16-point lead. Serving to the forehand to open up the backhand. Great defensive slice. And that works her back into the point. When you use that slice, it takes a little bit longer to get to your opponent. So they have a little bit more time to defend. And here we have Jada Danielle coming in here, the 2022 NCAA doubles champion. They're going to call a timeout right here. Jada Danielle was about to come in. Team Atlanta making sure that they try to ride this momentum a little bit more. Here we are coming back from the timeout here. We see our first lefty action of the day here from Jada Danielle. Great time. Pascal's made some great coaching decisions on when to sub players in. He's using that big gap to take advantage of it, to try to then make sure that these players have a little bit more wiggle room when they come in. It takes a little bit of time. We see a couple points in a row again by Michaela. Still no +2s, but we are back down to a 13-point lead. But Jada is going to have a couple points here where, she can work herself back in. And hit a little bit bigger, so we'll see how this works out. Big backhand there by Jada. Michaela's got a little bit more of that kick slice, so she's gonna feel more comfortable slicing that serve to Jada's backhand. And there it is, a great slice serve to the backhand. Had that opportunity. Great serve, great slice serve to set up the short ball. Just wasn't able to get her weight forward through enough to finish it off. Missed opportunity for the +2. Yes, that is right. We have one serve, one toss. You cannot catch the toss. So Jada forgot about that rule, one of our new players in the league. We've seen everybody go through it at least once, and she unfortunately loses that point. Slice and dice comes in. They did a great job handling that. Going slice inside out to Michaela's forehand. Michaela's got a little bit more of a Western forehand. Makes it tough to get it up and down there. And there's Jada's first serve of the day. What a backhand. That backhand's loosening up. Tampa fired up right there. 15-point lead. Once again, Atlanta just couldn't build on the momentum. And then Michaela tries to play aggressive right there. Bouncing her feet, great attitude, trying to stay in it. See Selma Ewing, they're bouncing her feet, ready to go. Justine Lespez Frenchie has a racket in her arm right there, ready to play. We'll see how long Marcelo wants to let Michaela go in. She's been playing the full bolt about 8.5 minutes. Haven't been that many long rallies. But Marcelo, from his previous match in the season, saw how Michaela got better and better as the day went on and has developed that trust. Great slice serve into the backhand by Michaela. Boom! That's what they've been looking for right there. So they can get a little bit more of that. Last 45 seconds of this first bolt. 98-84. Great service technique we've seen from both ladies. Jada trying to sit back, use that heavy forehand. Looks like she clearly likes to play a little bit on clay right there. It didn't work out on this indoor hard. Trying to set up that ball, get it out of Michaela's strike zone. Quick errors from both teams, back and forth, back and forth. 16 seconds left. Big backhand, just missed. Playing some solid tennis there. And that first bolt finishes 99-86 for Team Tampa.
Tampa came in with a 17-point lead. Atlanta won the first bolt of golden singles by 4 points. We'll have a 2 balls.
All right, here we go. 99-86, Selma Ewing.
Jada King on INTENNSE for Team Tampa. 10 minutes on the clock.
See how this first point goes for Selma. Great first serve, actually, to start it. You see the call slightly late.
Century mark.
186. We got a little bit of a heavier game style with that forehand there. We have two players, both liking to play with a little bit more spin on the forehand, but Jada really likes to flatten out that backhand. So we got some heavier top spin forehands. We've seen a lot more of the linear play from all the players. Let's see how this changes the dynamic as she starts to work in through this match. Slice forehand, tricky. I wonder what that was all about. Just wide here. 188, 12-point lead. Slowly chipping away, bouncing feet, building the momentum there. So for a return, 11-point lead. Pascal still encouraging his team. Hey, you got it, keep going. You got it, keep going. Really reinforcing good mistakes. There are good decisions that you can make as a player that you actually want to reinforce. You got to know when to continue and when to pull away. Pascal there. On the forehand side, just like the backhand, get your weight going forward. Jada's been doing a good job of that on the backhand. Forehand, sometimes she kind of waits for it and just sits on it and pulling away. We had a 10-point lead, 11 now. But Atlanta slowly getting back into this match. This looks to be a great substitution. Great open stance backhand right there by Salma. Big backhand. There's a lot right there. Ball kind of hanging around the middle of the court there. And we see Jada not choosing to run around it. She loves her backhand, steps in. Big one down the line. Salma couldn't defend that one off. Great return, though. Really good job by Team Atlanta coming back. You know, we've seen even from this big deficit, you know, just the steadiness of the focus and not get too deterred. They're coming back every time, staying strong, and they're hanging in very well here. Look at that, use that slice, tricky here. You don't see a lot of that, you know, with the one-serve rule. We generally see players try to really attack that. And we see Jada here using the chip forehand. Really interesting. Now with knifed it so low. Forehand and backhand battle here. Jada saw what she wanted, went for it. Salma been so solid coming off. Great job from the beginning. Oh, she unloads on that. Big fist pump to her team. Back to a 10-point lead. Atlanta's looking more locked in now, ready to play. Wozniak bouncing her feet. Looks like she's going to be coming in pretty shortly. Another 9-point lead, back to single digits, and there we go. We got Wozniak. We got Coach Marcelo trying to get the local Atlanta crowd fired up, and they're back in this match. Wozniak wanting to come in, play a little fast. Let's see how she sees her first action of the day. Two points like that. And Tampa is now fired up, chanting for their team. A lot of crowd noise in the middle of the points. We do not have any rules against crowd noise in the middle of the points. This is a full-on entertaining atmosphere. Fans can stand up when they want, they can chant when they want, they can scream when they want. As long as they're not insulting players and they're keeping things respectful, they can jump in and be as loud as they want. 106-95. Slowly continuing to chip away. And we see right there, we haven't, my math was off. We were actually at a 10-point lead. That was 11. I got to go back to school or get the Excel spreadsheet back in front of me. Math was always my worst subject. Looks like Christina here starting to work her way into the match here, asking her team to get louder. Taking her time, calming down. We saw Christina when she first came in, just fired and going quick, 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 quick. And now she's just trying to slow down. Let's see that call. Yes, it was out. Pascal making sure Marcelo knew that that ball was out. We get another substitution with Michaela back in the match. 12-point lead. See Marcelo there providing some coaching to Salma as she gets off the court. Coaching is allowed at any point in time. Couple of quick unforced errors there. Do we see Michaela feeling a little bit of the pressure? You know, this deficit has been on Atlanta for a long time. They've been holding it together. Let's see if it stays like that. Big forehand by Wozniak. That was actually a great job by Michaela to keep it as only a +1. Raul Garcia bouncing his feet. He looks ready to play. He wants, come on, let's get this mixed double started. 111.97. Slowly creeping back up for Tampa. See more shaped forehands now from these players. Great defense. What a shot. That was a big one because we had Christina coming in smartly. I mean, you see Michaela out there stretched. You're definitely going to want to come in and pick off a floater, but that was just, didn't float it at all. Great defense, great open stance, great strength on the outside leg there. Big Michaela getting her rhythm back. 12-point lead. Christina there playing pretty calm. You see a lot of balls going central, but also when you go central and deep, you remove all the angles for your opponent to really play offense. And so it allows you to stay more neutral in the points. You just stay calm, stay steady, work the point, and eventually Michaela tried to go for a little bit too much and missed. And you see Christina wanting to build on that confidence right there from winning those points, going for the serving volley. First serving volley we see from the women's side. You don't see much in general in this one serve, one touch format. Christina spun that ball up, left it short a little bit too much, and boom, Michaela comes in, flattens it out. You know, Christina's got a little bit extra of that little whippage behind her with that forehand, but a lot of times when you go hard and fast into it, it's hard to catch up with that grip, and we see the forced error there. Forced error there, 112, 102. Big fist pump to her team. Going for that heavy forehand, but I don't think Michaela really read that ball right. It dropped short. She tried to play offensive, but she just didn't get her weight forward there. We'll see if she continues to attack the forehand, and she does. So she's seeing that Christina's spinning a few extra balls up and short, and she want to take offense from that point of view, but this didn't work out. Here we go, going back to the forehand. Great backhand by Christina, redirecting there, great job. Good up and back movement. Oh, flattens it out, gets the short ball. And she comes in, wide, we see the call. Oh, that's tough. Team Atlanta really wanted that one. They could have used that one for the last point of the ball. Big discussion there right now. Very deflated. We've seen it. This is the second time in this match where we see a big controversial call, which is essentially a 3-point swing. So we've seen that twice. Considering it's a 13-point lead, you add 6 in there, turn it the other way. This is a big difference as we go into our last bolt.
Well, yeah, he's at 102, 115.
All right, here we go. We start serving. You got this, Christina.
Here we go into our third and last bolt of the women's singles match. 115, 103 lead here for Tampa. It's been really, really tight in the women's singles match. You know, Team Atlanta's actually slightly winning. Team Tampa had a huge victory over Team Atlanta. But on the women's side, they have been slowly creeping in. And it'll be really interesting to see the stats at the end of the match because they've been doing this without any, like very few +2s, maybe only 1 or 2 +2s. It's all been singles points. So they have won a lot of points to creep this back in. Great serve by someone to force a short ball, but great high defense from Christina to stay in this point. Great job. And there are the +2s that Tampa's been living on for today. What defense to hang in by Christina. Hanging out, spin, and boom, gets one to finally drive short. So patient, and even though that forehand wasn't massive, placed it so well. See Selma come back with a huge forehand, but again, the +2, the +1 difference, making a huge deal today. Push and pull, what a great women's singles match. Trying to go for that heavy forehand. Christina loves that big, heavy spin. Salma, that was one of her biggest serves of the day, so she is loosening up a lot. Tough crowd noise there. Welcome to Intense, where you just got to be mentally tough. And Selma just crushed that serve, no problem. Couldn't get it in the rally there. Again, we do not have any rule against crowd noise at any point in time, as long as you're not being insulting or disrespectful. Ooh, 108, 118, 107. Christina going for the serve volley. Great doubles player, great volleys, wants to try to get up there. It's just hard in this one serve format, when you're serving, to find the aggressiveness. Back and forth, back and forth. Marcelo encouraging her, knowing she's doing the right things, just got to stay the course. Selma's starting to really unload on these forehands. Before, she was just playing more solid. Well, Christina just solid as a rock. Selma has some huge forehands, but Christina, great mover, great defender, hanging in there, not being fazed by this. So calm on defense there. Hanging in, changes direction very well on the backhand. Get caught late there, the short ball. Finds the opportunity, just couldn't quite finish it off. But that's the right decision. Great job trying to find out that short ball. Picked it at the right time, just missed it. That's what Team Atlanta's just missing right now. Just a few of those right there. Comes back. Very steady. We got 6.5 minutes remaining here in this third bolt. As we get into that last minute of this bolt, the last minute of the third one. Clock stops after every point, whereas right now it's all continuous. Right at that last minute, it will stop, so you can actually make up a lot of points right there. See, Amy's got the racket in hand. She hasn't played in a while. We'll see if she comes back in, but Christina's solid as a rock right now. Chips forehand, gets it low. Defense one more time. So often Atlanta's been so close to the +2, but great defense. The intensifiers here also getting into it. The intensifiers are part of the team, and so they are getting into it as well. Michaela coming in now for Selma. Amy Zhu as well, double substitution coming in. We get 2 substitutions every 10 minutes. And also substitute on the timeouts and in between the bullets, and it doesn't count as a substitution, but during play, you can substitute twice. Okay, they're staying calm, 124-109, 15-point lead. Let's see if they can kind of keep it tight. They've worked it into single digits, kind of going back. Short angle cross, great defense again. Michaela, we have seen this multiple times from Michaela, just getting outside, hacking that ball back in play, using the squash forehand. Geez, she should have been a squash player too. We got to get an intense squash league out here. We got a hockey player, we got a squash player. Let's see what we got next after this. She is working it back in. Marcelo loving it. Pascal so often today when he's been so positive after his team goes after some big shots. They've been so successful with it. Great job reinforcing even the good mistakes. You know, keeping their confidence up. Nothing like knowing you have the confidence of your coach. Keep you calm out there. It's a beautiful part of this team format when the coaching is involved. You know, you have the coach that can really calm you down and maintain a higher level of play. There's that out. Ball was out. Michaela very calm with that call. It was very close. I was actually surprised how calm Michaela was with that call. That was so close. Pascal not happy, but that's a far sideline call. What a rally right there. Probably the best one from Michaela this match. Clawing her way back into that. Patient, patient, patient. Boom, backhand down the line. Amy goes and plays a little bit more aggressive there. She's been playing pretty steady there. Great forehand cross. The forehand down the line, just wide. Ball confirmed. Pascal, you know, we've had a very clean women's singles match with no overrules, and Pascal is wanting that. Oh, look at that. Pascal trying to insinuate something that Marcelo and that little sweet conversation they had in between with the bolts. Maybe something happened there. (126, 114). Time Amy attacks the backhand side. Michaela's been so good defending on the forehand. Pascal making sure the referee saw where that ball bounced. We got a big kick by Amy. Working the point. Crowd getting involved here in this long rally here. Neither player is deterred by this or distracted. Oh, what an overhead! The team loves it. What a rally. Michaela, unbelievable lob that was going to land on the back of the baseline. And Amy very intelligently decides to play it and makes it for a +2. The biggest difference in this match is those extra +2s. Can they hang in? Staying calm Atlanta. See, that point really took the air out of them, lifted the spirits of Team Tampa. 130, 114, working it back up to its biggest lead of the day. Here we are, taking a timeout here again. Taking a timeout, 130, 115. Still relatively close when you consider we have mixed doubles and how many winners they can hit. We definitely want to try to scrap out a few more points, keep it close, because if not, if the lead gets too big, this is where players, when they get to mixed doubles, they can try to play too aggressive, they can get reckless, and they can really just stretch out that lead. So if you keep it close, you can play a little calm,
Here we go.
and then you can slowly work your way back into this match. Here we go. 15-point lead for Tampa. Michaela to serve. Amy trying to play really offensive, just struggled to find that ball to go through the court. We see Team Atlanta locking in over there on the guys' side, trying to warm themselves back up for the mixed doubles so that they can get in and be nice and warm as they get ready. And there's that flat forehand that Amy was searching for in the previous point. Unloads on it, 131-116. Yeah, Amy run around and attack with that forehand. Nice little short chip to bring her in. That's an awkward play when it's just not deep enough. You know, you think it's coming deep, but then it ends up short and it's so low, you're caught in no man's land. Don't quite know exactly how to approach and be offensive. It's almost impossible. You have to chip it back. Amy just overplayed the drop shot there. Smart play by Michaela. Going for the drop shot. We haven't seen many drop shots. We've seen a lot of just left and right, bashing of ground strokes. And we see Amy trying to use that drop shot right there. 131-118. You see the fault give it back right there. Clock stops at the end of each point in this last minute. Amy's been loving that kick serve out wide on the deuce side. Michaela finally ready for it. Rips it. 132-119. Trying to go with the short slice. Didn't work out this time. This is going to be our last point of this vault. Atlanta has a slight lead in the overall women's singles portion, but that big lead that the Atlanta men gave them, or sorry, the Tampa team gave them in the men's singles portion. Here we go right there. We are going to head in to the mixed doubles portion of this with a 134-119 lead for Team Tampa. What a steady match. You know, both teams couldn't really pull away. Team Tampa had a little bit of momentum early. Team Atlanta got it back. Really, I'd say huge credit for the Atlanta team to hang in there, not overplay, stay steady, you know, and not let this lead get too big. Beautiful job. And now they're going to give themselves a shot here in the mixed doubles, where we can see a lot of winners pile up. We got to look at this.
Yeah, I know. Me and my buddy Drew, the guy, he's a ginger over there. We're rooting for Team ATL, so we made this sign.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Team
yeah.
Atlanta, so Atlanta local.
Yeah, Atlanta local. So these two, George Coupland and then Marcelo, are our coaches.
Okay.
And then Michaela and Salma, they train up at Windy Hill, where we train at. So it's next to the Brave Stadium. So we made this just to kind of like.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
the support. Is a very different format of tennis versus what you're used to playing, training like. What's it been like so far as you get to see this unfold live?
I mean, I played the first event that we did in this, so I'm used to it. But it's good. I feel like I can be as loud as I want. So it's kind of cool.
More relaxed.
Yeah,
I mean, we've been seeing the crowd get involved in the middle of points.
Right.
Very different. Use the traditional tennis that's so quiet. What's been your favorite part so far? We have a lot of rule changes: the one serve, the lets, the crowd, the substitutions. What's your favorite rule so far?
Favorite rule has got to be the substitution, or not the substitution. Sorry, the crowd yelling.
Yeah.
Because when they're about to toss the ball, I let out a little yell.
So that's been you.
That's been me.
I love that.
Yeah. So it's good. I can be as loud as I want, whenever I want. So it's good.
And how does it feel that these are the same people you train with? You're coached by the same coach that coaches a professional team. What environment does that create when you go back to practice and you're around these players, you're sharing the same courts, maybe even jump in from time to time, and you get to see them live in action?
I mean, it's cool to kind of experience it in person, see my head coach kind of, coaching again, like he did back in college at Pepperdine. So I mean, it's kind of cool to experience it in person. And when I go back to the club, I'm definitely going to remember this and keep the same energy going back into practice.
So if we were to have a junior team Intense League, can we count on you to sign up?
Of course. I'll sign up for every event. As
we get ready to serve here, anyone can take the return. Okay, servers still have to take their appropriate turns when they serve, but anyone can return. And Jada Danielle, NCAA doubles champion, getting in there for that +2 right away. That is big right there. 136, 119. Raul, big kick coming in. So tough to handle. It's got a lot of action. He can move it around to either part of the box. And it's just really getting above the shoulders for Trent. Great job getting it down, but great hands by Jada. What a shot! Is this what Atlanta has been waiting for all day? Angle backhand, almost went over Justine, and she had to duck down. What an angle forehand by Raul. Just like that, the momentum slows down. 2 points back to Team Tampa. Now we're gonna see, does Tampa work the clock a little bit?
The Frenchie to serve for Team Atlanta.
Great kick serve, but Raul's forehand has so much spin. Justine getting her first action of the day. Happens to every single player. I haven't seen one player walk in and play great tennis right away, except for maybe Joaquin Benoit, who he's been able to come in and play big. What hands by Jada with the +2. Great hands. Trent trying to go aggressive at the net player to get a volley to pop up. But Jada, one of the best doubles players in the world, showing why right there. And now with the lead, Raul going big there, not giving them an inch right there. One of his biggest serves of the day, flattening it out instead of going for the kick. Got the let serve in on the line. Could be demoralizing. We have a 22-point lead. We said you can really rack up points quick. It's been going Tampa's way, though, right now. Goes for it, calls it out. Oh! Just wide. Big lead for Tampa, so they're not going to make a big fuss about it. Big inside in forehand. So fast moving left there, running around it. Big inside in forehand. Just wide. Big kick up to the backhand. He tries to run around it. Raul really wanted that, really just felt like he had the +2 opportunity to go for it. Justine trying to take advantage of the post. Trying to hit a great kick serve down the tee, but Raul ran around it. A lot of times when you hit that good of a serve, it's kind of hard to change directions with it, but Raul going a little inside out with that forehand. World class. That is why he's on the Bolivian Davis Cup team and why he's arguably the greatest tennis player in Kennesaw State history. .147, 127. Justine going in for the serve here. Goes to the line, doesn't get it. Jada putting a lot of pressure there, trying to show the fake coach, the move around right there. And we see a full substitution, both teams, or both players are subbed out here. Michaela and George coming in. 148, 128. Coops with probably the biggest serve here But we've seen his serve get really big in other matches. When he's up, does he go for it here? And he does go for it, but Raul, great defensive return down the line. Tampa really trying to make a push right here to stretch this out. Great volley by the Bolivian coming in. George is hoping to put a little bit of pressure to come in, but Raul just great hands to get it low right there. Going for it once again. A lot of encouragement there from his teammates' smiles. Atlanta making a big push here. Their fans really trying to get him up and going. Great poach, angle volley, Jada Danielle, multiple +2s in the doubles in this first 10-minute bowl. Smile is just riled up over there, loves it. Oh, hanging tight, making it look like he was gonna poach, gives the fake, and boom, doesn't, and then is able to get another +2. Points are racking up fast here for Team Tampa. All right, let's see if they can kind of settle down here. Team Tampa's just been playing great, but we're gonna need to see something here, but we can't play too fast, overly reckless. Oh, she read it, had it, clipped the top of the net. Just wide, almost. Great return by Coop. That was actually a really tough return, skid off the back of the line. And that's one of those where today, a lot of times when you've had the referee get involved in some of your calls, you overthink anything that's close and you don't even hit a great shot. Coop staying really solid. Right on the back of the line. Great post once again. Jada, MVP so far of this mixed doubles match. You got the communication. You don't have a lot of time to communicate with less than 20 seconds to play, and very quick, straight to the point. Oh, we've seen a lot of faults from him as he's going for the big serve. But with, again, the amount of +2s they're getting with all that, it gives them the cushion that they can go for some of these serves. And they're getting rewarded it. This aggressiveness is giving them the lead. I can't count. 28, 159, 131. Looks like a 28-point lead. ChatGPT, fact check me on that one. We got a timeout here by Team Atlanta. We get one timeout every 10 minutes by each team, but you can only call it when you're serving. So Team Atlanta here, they win that point, try to settle down before things get out of hand. And Marcelo trying to settle his team here. You know, Team Tampa's just fired up. Pascal now trying to have his little nice conversation, making nice with the referee. Great to see Coops, the leader that he is, right there, bouncing his feet, ready to go. We see a sub here coming in, Trent with Michaela. There's gonna be some firepower here.
Nick, after a timeout, if you don't want to serve, he can serve. The order says if you want him to serve, he can. Yeah.
What a forehand by Raul. And another +2. Yes, +2 by Jada. Yes, he's been the MVP, but what a setup by Raul to hit a massive forehand that creates the floater for Jada to say, thank you. Good forehand, Raul leaving it hanging a little bit too much for Trent. Rips it right there, and even Jada with her great hands just couldn't quite catch up right there. With the poach, good move. Just caught it a little bit late. Team Atlanta trying to build it up right now with some momentum. We got Luis Francisco San Pedro over there and Matador waiting for his moment to prowl on this team at Tampa. Great hands by Trent. Again! Jada! You got to get this girl a multi-year contract. What a play so far. The frustration starting to build right there. It's tough. They've been holding on for a long time. It is a 31-point lead here. Marcelo sensing that frustration right there, sending the signal to Trent like it's okay, stay calm, stay calm. And one of the few forehands that Raul has missed today. Playing quick here, there is no servers. They don't have to wait. Servers pace here, if they were ready. We went for it to try to get him in. And that'll wrap up the very first bolt of this mixed doubles match. We've seen Team Tampa really extend the lead here to a 30-point lead. You know, that sounds like a lot, but if you think about it, you can easily make up points with the amount of +2s that Tampa's had. That's the biggest thing. It hasn't been the individual points won. It's been the +2s for Team Tampa. I mean, Raul's missed about, 5-6 first serves, but Jada alone has had 7 or 8 +2s on her own just in these 10 minutes. So, they keep going for this big offensive style, and it is really paying off. See what happens here, because this is forcing Team Atlanta to play so aggressive, because Team Tampa's playing so aggressive. If they try to work the point, but they try to be a little too controlled and the ball sits a little bit, boom, Team Tampa's just taking their cuts, and it's working. And so they're really forcing it on you right there. And Team Atlanta just hasn't been able to get rewarded for their own type of offense.
Okay. What are the chances of a comeback here?
At 20%?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you see out there? You've been really close to these teams.
Yeah.
You've been listening.
I mean, well, from an energy standpoint, Tampa's definitely got a bit more chutzpah. They're bringing a bit more energy. Garcia seems to sort of be the strong guy on the court.
Yeah.
He seems to be commanding his forehand. He's got the most spin, the heaviest ball out here. Yeah, so I would say Tampa's got it.
Yeah, I mean, Jada,
Yeah.
MVP so far of the mixed doubles, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Raul might be overall, but her hand to the net, the +2.
Yeah, the lefty. I mean, she's got that. Lefties, man, they got that the intuition, right?
Oh, God.
The craft.
Yeah, I hate lefties
Yeah.
because they're so good.
Did you know that she started as a righty and then, did you hear her story?
She switched to lefty?
Late. So she started as a righty and then around 13 or 12 or 13 switched to lefty.
Yeah.
2 years later, won the Nationals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's been interesting to see how offensive Team Tampa's played.
Yeah.
But it's locked in. And then that forces Team Atlanta to have to go for any little opportunity. Jada, one more time.
Another time with those buttery hands at the net.
Gosh, Dr. Touch there.
Yeah. And then you're back on the same side because you got the 2.
Yeah, you get +2, you go back, you play it. But that's been the difference, right? I haven't seen many +2s from Team Atlanta all day.
Yeah, you're right.
Raul's missed more serves than Sharapova would in one of her worst service matches. But yeah, they're up big because of the +2s.
Another double fault. Well, they don't have, you got Coop on Team Atlanta, who's the guy who's supposed to bring the firepower. Today, he's a little bit off. His backhand's a little late today.
Yep.
And that's the difference, right? Garcia's hitting.
Well, in the last match where, Coop did so well, which has been interesting to see this time around, he did so well when he was up.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe we got a little bit of a front runner here.
Right.
You know, gets a little behind, can't handle it a little bit. We'll see how
Okay.
this plays out.
Okay.
171, 137. Oh, goes for the post.
We haven't seen too many clock violations. People are playing at a fast speed today. Have you seen anybody try to slow the clock down?
Let me see, did they give her the touch? They did get the touch right there. No, I'm wondering if Team Tampa starts to play a little slow, but they're so locked in.
Yeah.
Don't change anything, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if it ain't broke. But we got to see Atlanta start taking some bigger swings, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a choice. You
Yeah.
know, when your opponent's playing that big, no matter what you think, you got to go bigger.
Yeah.
Great hands.
Oh, there we go. Okay, Bird. He's got some fire. He's been feeling it.
Got that snake forehand. You know, that's a little bit past my time.
Right.
You know,
The liquid whip.
yeah, the old school traditionalist would be like, what is that little whippage?
The floppy wrist was after me.
Yeah.
But I like it. I mean, I wish I had it. Yep.
Great return. Great cut. It's the benefit right now. I think if you're Team Tampa, you just try to eliminate all +2s.
Yeah.
And as long as you just hang in there a little bit, you can probably just run the clock. See right now.
41.
173, 142, 31-point lead. You still got 7 minutes in bolt number 2. Out. We see it. Very quiet call. Loud in here with all the fans screaming. We can't always hear that call.
Yeah, it's those high backhands.
Raul's got that dirty clay court kick.
Yeah.
They can do it with their eyes closed. They've been working on that since they were 6 years old.
I mean, the Babolat rackets with an extra. What are you saying? You've got polyester in there for sure.
Yep.
Probably strung pretty loose.
Yep.
It's just spicy.
I think I've seen Raul hit 3 backhands today.
Yeah, he gets around it nicely. What's his background? Like as far as playing background?
Well, Bolivian Davis Cup player.
Yeah.
Best tennis player in Kennesaw State history.
In
the
tennis-
hockey player down again? Oh, man. Trent with the slide and dive, but Jada with the buttery Dr. Touch hands. Gosh.
Dr. Pepper. The way she peppers those volleys.
Gosh, we got a little salt and pepper action over there.
Yeah. So the greatest player in what history?
Kennesaw State history.
Kennesaw
State.
Got ya.
So,
Yeah.
you know, playing on the ATP Tour right now, joining us for the Intense League. We got to find a way to get this guy a multi-year contract.
Yeah. I would lock him down. Put a ring on it. Oh, yeah.
What? Hey! Is this the moment? Finally, fires up his team. That's the offense they've been waiting for. Can they carry it? Goes for the post.
Come on,
It's
man.
too good.
You can't feed the forehand on Garcia. It's like putting your hand in a lion's cage.
Great pickup.
There you go.
Going for the inside-out dipper. That's tough.
Too cute.
Full team substitution here.
Okay.
Coops back in with Justine Lefebvre.
That would be a tough little thing to get used to is coming off the bench. I'd put a little stationary bike on my bench if I was on here and just keep people warm, you know?
Well, we saw that in the men's and women's singles here. We have some backcourts over there. They were sneaking off, you know, to just stay warm. But it's tough in the mixed doubles. You can't be too far.
Yeah.
So, and then we see another +2 right there. That's tough. They're just.
We got a little
We
misfit.
got a little confusion. We see right here. Odd number plays odd side. there. He wants it all.
Definitely get more bang for your buck here. You're watching more points than you normally would. How many points do you think you're watching in a traditional tennis match? What's the average amount of points?
Not as many as this. I would say probably, 2 sets, probably 120 each,
Yeah.
100 each.
Right. You need 24 points to win a set if you won 0-0.
Yeah.
24. Let's say you're not winning 0-0. Let's say it's double that.
Justine there with the underhand serve when they're not
cheeky.
ready. Oh, gets the +2. Sneaky there.
That was a sneak attack.
I mean, we have seen so many points I can't count. 300 and too many. We're not even done yet.
You're probably watching a best-of-5 match that went 6 in the 5th in the span of a 2 out of 3 match.
In an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I might be able to make my nap time today.
Yeah. I've been looking forward to my power nap. You got a little guy at home who's got to take a nap?
I got to hit that nap time. It's about 1:30 to 4. So if I can get home, he's still on that nap time. We ain't losing that. Oh!
Okay.
That should be +3.
Yeah.
Should be +3.
Anything between the legs, a +3. I like your call if you can hit the scoreboard and a winner at the same time. Maybe a +3.
Great communication right there to let that ball go. Wonder if they should have hit it anyway to try to get the +2.
You're right. Us tennis players are programmed to let a ball that we feel is going an inch out sail, right?
Yep.
So you got to break that programming.
See the fist pump from Raul right there, even after the fault right there. They are hungry for that little extra prize money that they get for winning these portions. Pops it up.
Oh,
is that what happened here?
That's the thing. You make it between her once and you try it again. If you don't make it the second time, kind of soils the first one a little.
Yeah. And also, I wondered if that ball was out, but because of the overrules, just afraid to get overruled again.
Right.
At that point, hey,
what's the overrule rule again?
Well,
remind me.
When the ball is in, and you call it out, and the ref sees it, they can say, hey, your call was wrong, because the players are making their own calls here.
And do you get penalized if you get overruled a certain amount of times?
Not yet, not in this league. Right. That's why I think in this, you got to put it in the ref's hands.
Yeah.
You lost the point anyway.
I see what you're going for. Yeah, make the ref have to make that tough call, especially if the ball's bouncing between your legs there. You can't see it.
Yeah, put it on them. How many times have we seen the flop calls in other sports where you just blow on them and they fly backwards and they get the call? You never know. A 188-159 lead as we get into the last 20 seconds of this second bolt. And we have a burden.
Oh!
Great return by Justine. This is why she went undefeated playing at the #1 spot. Doesn't matter the score, she is locked in. What do we have here?
Out.
Time is up. All right.
Then you start to wonder to yourself, what can you do here? You just got to start going for twos?
This is where I wonder also, do you play 2 back?
Right.
Both serve or the return, but especially on the return, like when Raul's serving, I mean, he's just doing such a good job to get it up. It's hard for these players to really take offense at it, and I think that's where Jada's been able to poach so much.
Right.
So I think consider playing 2 back, work your offense a little differently. We haven't seen any I formation.
That's true. I formation both back. When I was at the ITA indoors a couple weeks ago, that was the preferred play, was the I formation when you're serving and then both back.
I love the 2 back
Yeah.
on the serve.
Serving.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I didn't like balling.
Right.
I just want to tee off on forehand.
Yeah, I'm a serving ball here. Die hard.
Yeah, you're a traditionalist.
Yeah.
We're going to change that.
Yeah. I think that's happening today.
What do you think so far? You've been your first day live in action. You've seen all of it. Pros on the ATP Tour, WTA Tour, college, juniors, and now you see the pros here in the Intense League. How do you feel so far?
I like it. And I will be honest with you, I'm a Kool-Aid drinker in the sense that if I get into an atmosphere where the energy feels good, people seem like they're having a good time, and it just kind of flows, like I'm quick to be like, yes, I love this.
Yeah.
And yeah, this has won me over. I mean, I have to say, the thing that with tennis that you start to realize is that a guy like Garcia, if a player is on, our sport has this, you can't beat them. Like, I shouldn't say that you can't beat them, but they have to cross the finish line, right? You can't just sit a guy if you get that lead. So what I'm seeing here is that as much as these guys, what I'm noticing here is that Coop and this team are trying everything they can to sort of break Garcia's stride.
Yeah. And we see, look how much Pascal has made no changes, right? In the doubles.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Amy Zuen, we haven't seen Danielle come out at all. Joaquin Benoit actually played pretty good in the men's singles. He hasn't come in once, but Pascal wants a dub.
Yeah. And then it comes, it is that part of tennis that I like where you want to try to break somebody's stride, and I think this league allows a bit more opportunity to do that in a clean way, as opposed to having to resort to mind games like tying your shoes or taking bathroom breaks and stuff. Here, it's like time is being treated differently, so you're allowed to take timeouts and stuff like that, where you're messing with momentum. I like that.
190, 162 here on this last 10-minute bolt, the final bolt of the day. We get 3 bolts, the Holy Trinity, finishing it off here of these 3 different matches. If you look at Raul Garcia's face right now, you would have no idea that they're up so big. He is locked in like a bull seeing red, and we have the matador, Luis Francisco, who has been able to put in his Spanish power in there. And Raul's just taking over. And Coop's trying to do the best he can right now with an ace, first one of the day. Poor Raul's tried that 75 million times and he couldn't get one, but Coop's coming in right there. 2 big serves. Ooh. Interesting timing with the beat drop.
Yeah.
In the song as he was about to hit the serve. Wonder if Coops is still, English people very traditional in tennis.
Yeah.
He's not used to that noise right there.
They also like their techno, though, their late night raves. I've been to a few in off Brick Lane, so the more well put people are on the outside, the harder they party at night. The harder they party at night. Get that clean audio.
I'm a big day party guy.
Yeah?
Oh, I can still make my nap.
There you go. Your nap.
Brunch.
Those are daytime parties are getting big, though. They're doing these coffee and DJ parties in the morning. True story. In Toronto, I think the new generation, they're not drinking as much as the boomers.
Mindful of their sleep.
Yeah.
Mindful of sleep a lot more.
And mental health. I mean, look, if you're tying one on all the time, highs and lows, it's better to just sort of...
See, this generation, there's way more aware of that stuff, and they know, how important it is to get that sleep, so they just party during the day so they can at least sleep at night.
Yeah.
And they wake up refreshed after a great day of fun.
It took me until about 32, 33, where I thought, okay, I can start partying around 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
Yep.
And then be in bed by midnight. It didn't have to go to I think it's a rookie move to start partying at about 9 o'clock at night. I think it's rookie.
Overrated. +2 there by Justine, 196, 170. I think that's the first smile from Raul since the men's singles. Coop's serving big,
There we
going
go.
into the forehand.
Oh, he goes for too much.
You know, great awareness by Raul there because, you know, Coop's trying to serve directly into the forehand because Raul's running around it so much. But Raul is just, boom, locked, ready to go.
And JD up there at the net. JD? She's up there at the net, forcing the issue, right? Because they know if they get it on her racket, she's got so much skill.
Yeah.
So I think they're going for a little too much on the returns. Okay.
You get the backhand, you get the backhand, you get the point. Let's go, fast points. Giving them the point,
Oh, the
trying to play
intensive
quick,
time.
take advantage of that time because Raul threw his racket.
Okay. Overcooked it.
197, 174. Are we gonna hit the 400-point mark?
Team Atlanta trailing by 9 points in mixed doubles here. They have started to close the gap.
Speaking of coffee, I think we got to get Team Tampa some, you know, a nice little tea and pastries and coffee because they're enjoying the show right now as they're watching Jada and Raul just dominate right now. Definitely the longest I've seen one team stay in the entire season, but it's working.
Right. I mean, it's kind of the perfect mixed doubles team. You got firepower coming off Garcia and then JD at the net with the sultry hands.
Ooh.
Team Tampa has now reached the 200-point mark. They made 200 to 175.
Double century.
That's the thing. Lefty's always so effective in doubles because doubles is such an angles game. When you got a righty and a lefty out there, you got access to all the little angles.
I wonder if a righty trained with lefties every day from the day they were born, would they develop that amazing slice, the amazing touch? Be interesting.
Sort of like if you were raised by a pack of wolves, would you
Become
acquire?
a wolf.
Yeah, would you acquire the need for blood?
Yep.
But so often lefties are raised essentially by an academy of righties, right? Because often there's one lefty, two lefties in an academy.
When we only have one lefty in today's match, and you see the impact. You know, righties are not used to playing against lefties. And so when they come up against them, it's just a different dynamic. We see Team Atlanta here now having Selma Ewing trying to come in, try to provide some extra sparks to finish off this match.
I always love playing lefties because I found they're their own worst enemy. They can pull off the most incredible shots. They're super creative, but they'd like to get creative in big moments, and then they get down on themselves a little bit. They get too cute sometimes.
Well, when I played a lefty, because I had a one-hander, they never got cute because they would just hook it to the backhand. Against that match.
See, I had a one-hander too, but I had a side spin on my one-hander that didn't work against righties, but against lefties, the side spin negated the lefty.
Yep. Great hands by Raul to stay in that point. George went for the +2, went big. Didn't work out. 206, 176.
We're getting into big servers, kilometer per hour territory.
George going big. Smiles wanting more. They want more. They want the biggest lead ever. Christina loving this. Just chill. Played a little bit of the singles. Used her backhand and just maneuver some balls down the line. And now she gets to watch her team just dominate.
Now you'd think keeping Garcia and JD in this long that they would get a little fatigued. Maybe that'll be the thing that changes them. But they don't seem to be getting tired.
No, I mean, you can tell just by looking at them, you know, the strength in their legs, the way they're breathing, they're not breathing hard.
No. Like right now, throw one in right away.
Yeah, they got to play a little quicker, a little too calm now. No time for calmness now.
Bring in fresh legs and just rush them.
Oh. And yes, that's right. We have the one toss one serve rule, especially toss. They didn't like it.
One toss.
The traditional form of tennis, you're allowed to catch it 75,000 million times. Not here.
Oh.
Ooh, close call, no challenge. At this point, I think Team Atlanta is just probably accepting this.
Yeah. Here's where Tampa Bay just start to play at a nice, even pace. Cheeky.
Look at that.
2 points.
+2, Pascal smiling, knowing he's got the dub coming in.
This is where, if you play college tennis, you're going to the Olive Garden after this. Your coach is bringing you there because of the win. Whereas looks like Atlanta's probably going to Wendy's after this.
Yeah, we once got taken to Fazoli's after a while.
Fazoli's.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
There's that quick serve that we were talking about.
I didn't mind going to Schlotsky's.
Yeah, Schlotsky's great. The original toasted sub.
The original. Quiznos, the copycat. Okay.
You don't often see a lob from the middle of the court on the service line, but you guys are on fire today.
Here's where you start thinking, if you're playing in a season, that you're going to play them again later on in the season. Maybe we mess with their head a little bit here, leave it with a little bit of bad blood, if I dare say, just so that you're in their head next time you play. Because right now, Atlanta's just accepting the defeat. Don't accept the defeat.
Yeah, I think this is where, we didn't see Luis Francisco get in and play any action.
Yeah.
Would have been great to see where his double skills fit with who.
Yeah.
This is where you can take that longer term perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially the same with Tampa, right? Okay, you've got it locked in, throw in some of your other players to see where they fit. Practice is practice.
Mm-hmm.
You want to see them in live action to see where they actually fit under pressure.
Like, as a hockey guy, being Canadian, right? This is where I throw Trent Bird in and I tell him to rough it up a bit.
Yeah.
Go for the peg.
And just go for the little, stick right on the back of the knee. See
Take
what
him
that
down,
does.
a little slashing play.
Yeah, I think Atlanta, you got to send a message here. Be like, yeah, we're going to lose, but
next
we're ready.
Next time it's not going to be so fun.
Raul playing quick. He wants more. This is very impressive to see his motivation. That's probably why he hasn't felt that tiredness. He's been so locked in. When you're this locked in, you're going to have a broken leg. You're not going to feel it.
Yeah. No, he's getting first dibs at
with the no look.
There we go. Now Coop's playing for the highlight reels.
You got to do something. You got to build up the gram at this point. You got to take a win somewhere.
Yeah. Maybe there's a W to be had with shot of the match. You get an extra
10K?
Yeah.
.21 seconds here, though. The last 1 minute of every third bowl.
Leave us with something memorable here, man. Make them remember you. There's Garcia. Garcia's on right now.
Oh, look at this.
If Garcia pulled the slot machine right now, that thing hit 777s.
He clearly grew up on a grass court because his feel around the court, he only developed that playing on grass. Bolivians don't come to the net.
I didn't realize they were the grass nation.
Look at that. Oh, he goes for another no look. 9 seconds left, 2:19, 186. All smiles over there from Team Tampa. Atlanta with the arms crossed. Coop's looking over at his team.
I mean, you can tell fatigue is kicking in with Coop. One too many English muffins. Oh, okay. Speak of the devil.
Look at that slap.
Mississippi State, my rival. I played at Ole Miss 1 year. Stark Vegas, they call it?
Yep.
Why do they call it Stark Vegas?
You ever take any team trips down to Biloxi?
Biloxi, went to Mobile, Alabama. I never went to Biloxi, Mississippi? Biloxi?
Yeah.
Is it a gambling? Is there a boat?
Oh, yeah. A gambling place.
Never been. There's not a riverboat on the water that you can gamble on, is there? In Biloxi?
Only one way to find out. I was gonna say, what else are you gonna do in Mississippi?
Yeah.
Football wasn't as good as it was now.
I remember going down to the deep woods to eat catfish, and we were driving in the pitch black for 45 minutes, and then took a quick right onto a mud road. Best damn catfish I ever had.
Yeah.
Had to bring your own wine.
Ooh.
They do that in the South, right? You got to bring your own BYO.
BYOB.
Yeah.
Of course. +2 here, clock stop. Kooks delirious on the wrong side. Salma should have hit him with a serve in the back of the head. 220, 190 here.
Here we go.
Last
Go for the
point.
underhand. Last point.
Goes for it. Did she get it? I think she went for a little blood going right after Team Tampa, sending him out. That's what we're talking about.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
That's it. And that is it. Team Tampa, 221, 191. What a show. Jada Daniels, who's your MVP for this match?
I mean, sleeper MVP is JD.
Yep.
With the hands and the doubles. Didn't even make it close, and then you got to go Garcia. I mean, the guy was playing on a cloud the entire day.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, I mean, you got to give it to Raul because I think he set the tone early in the match. And then they just never let go of that lead. But it has to be a co-ed MVP because the +2 that Jada had, her plus-minus ratio was through the roof.
Yeah.
And that was the hard part. They tried to attack her early on, but she did fantastic right there.
So proud of you. I'm very proud of you. Okay? Congrats.
Why don't you ask him, first of all, who won?
Congrats to Tampa, but the biggest congratulations is to that guy right there, sitting with the blazer, because he's the one who recruited the team. So
even after losing,
even though he
the
lost,
guy's talking. I can't believe he lost.
looked-
Look the score. I mean, look the score. Look at the score.
He looked
because
very
we're
good.
over 200,
No.
and he still talks. He still talks. It's
Hey,
amazing.
phenomenal team, great players, no doubt. We got beaten today. We got beaten.
No shit.
But congrats to the team and their coach over there for recruiting. This guy, all he does is sit on the sidelines and talk trash. But because he's skilled,
At least I do something because you did nothing today.
Well, when you're losing by 40, it's hard to do something.
Trent couldn't get his forehand going as much as he'd want to. I heard he was in Athens last night. I don't know if you've been to Athens.
I've been mellow mushroom a couple times.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's more than just a pizza place.
It's not mellow after midnight.
Nope, and they keep it going there. Did that affect him today? We'll leave that up to the coach to decide. You know, Selma Ewing would have been interesting to see if she played a little bit more in the doubles. And, you know, we didn't see Michaela. Didn't quite get to play as good. The women's singles, that was tight.
Yeah, that was. Longer points, quieter audience because they could feel the tension.
Yeah. Well, and then Christina coming in with her heavy forehands. But then Thelma trying to really, when she started to unload on those forehands, just kept that lead a little bit more. Kind of wanted to see a little bit more controversy, to be honest.
Well, we had if it ain't broke, don't fix it thing happening with Tampa. And we had Atlanta trying to throw the kitchen sink at them, but I think they could have thrown the kitchen sink and the refrigerator if they had gotten a little bit. I think you got to get a bit more tactful, like with the, I don't want to say dirty. Well, I'm not trying to turn this into hockey and drop the gloves, but I think when you have a team that's clearly got some momentum, you got to use the tricks of messing with the momentum a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do whatever you can to kind of slow the momentum down. You know, they couldn't quite figure it out.
Yeah.
And then Pascal, great coaching to try to just, the players are winning, stayed.
Pascal kept them happy.
Yeah.
Smiling the whole time.
Well, Smiley Smiles over there just rooting on his team. You know, the captain very happy to walk away with the team victory.
I also think, too, this is a place where we're in Atlanta right now. The Atlanta home crowd need to feel that their team are a little bit woozy and they need to get behind them a bit more.
Yeah.
Right? So, you know, I'm gonna tell the Atlanta crowd, you were on the bench today, too, with the team. You needed to step it up a bit more as well.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of a front-running crowd.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it was a bit you know, us tennis, this is gonna be a good thing about Intense, right? It's gonna culture tennis into a better direction, because I think people come to these events and some people are bringing that tennis etiquette, that strawberries and cream attitude. And look, you can make a difference. When your team is losing like this, you as the audience, you can start chanting, you can start pushing them and get behind them. And I bet you can break a guy like Garcia a little bit. Just get him thinking, right? You can be the deal maker.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see the local education from each team with their fans.
Yeah.
Because you're totally right. Fans can have a bigger impact than they've ever had in a tennis match.
Yeah.
And they didn't quite take advantage of that today in the local crowd. You could see it a little bit maybe with Coops, front runner there.
Yeah.
That behind didn't work out. And
now, big shout to the boys over here on the bench, though, that had the posters out. Like, they were going to let them go. The Atlanta team, they had a group of carrot heads over here.
They were locked in. Great MVP for fans, for sure.
MVP for fans, for sure. I mean, look, you need to be the MVP of the fan base. I mean, you know, playing college tennis, I went in to play Michigan State one time. A couple girls in the audience started heckling me. There goes my self-confidence. Right? And they weren't even saying mean things. It's just that I'm so fragile.
Yeah.
You know, I lost.
Yeah, and it would be interesting to see when fans start to be able to pick apart.
Exactly.
You know, which player they can actually really go at,
Yeah.
and which one that's just mentally tough.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like there, you got to pinpoint Garcia. And I'm not saying you got to say mean things. Again, it's about momentum with cheering. So it's not about who's going to say the meaner thing to break the stride. It's how you going to chant, when are you going to chant.
Yeah.
Right? Sustain the energy.
What chance are the right ones? Because, that was the thing that, you know, especially in the women's singles match, I felt like they were starting to win a few more consecutive points.
Yeah.
They can never really build momentum. There was something about, like, when Tampa hit one good shot, you felt that. The whole team was just exploding to it, and then I think it just built and built and built. And Atlanta needed that little extra push there.
Mm-hmm.
So, as we wrap things up, your first time here, hopefully we can get you out at more matches. You know, I know you're a big fan of college tennis and things that they're trying to do there. Where do you see the future of this league going? Where can it build to? And is this the future?
Yeah, well, I think definitely this has got a lot of elements of the game that we need. I like the substitution. That was amazing. I loved watching a guy come over here Coop was about to return serve. All of a sudden, Bird switches in for him. Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. I mean, that to me, again, that's the fantasy of every tennis player. I don't care who you are. You just wish you could switch somebody in, whether you're winning, losing, whatever's going on. You need a little break. You're losing. To me, that's got to be part of the future of tennis.
Well, and I think that's the only way you can create an actual team dynamic.
Exactly. You're not on a team like that. I always balked at the idea that here I'm on a team, but I can't sub a guy in. He can't play for me. Like you almost feel lonelier because you're in a way competing with your team for spots on the team. Now you're on a team where you can sub each other in. When you win the men's, all three guys won the men's. When you win the women's, same thing.
Yeah. So, well, look.
I love it.
It's been great having you here.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you again.
Anytime, baby.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we got the winning coach here of the Tampa team, Pascal. What a match. What did you think out there?
I mean, first of all, the team did it, truly. Yeah. I mean, I was just enjoying myself over there. I mean, it's such a fun game. I mean, Intense is truly, I mean, I didn't have to, you know, be somebody else. I was just myself, enjoying, but the team was amazing. They did it. I didn't. I just was there for sharing, but they did the job. Yeah? And we had a very good recruiter. I don't know if you know him.
He gets a lot of credit, but I think the players there, especially Jada, to finish off. I mean, Raul, great start with the men's, huge forehand. But Jada with those hands at the net, that mixed double is obviously just a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, again, for me, it's very emotional as well because, you know, I was teaching Jada when she was 5 years old.
Yeah.
So I know her very well, and I know how good she can be in doubles. I mean, one of the best college players in the US, right? So I knew that was a secret weapon we had in the team. That's why I fought very hard to have her to come today. But yeah, Raul, I mean, big forehand, big serving, and the team was just on a cloud.
Yeah, and what a combo to have them in there, but then also just let them run. Like, they were doing so well.
And that's part of the strategy. You know, my Marcelo tried to change all the time, which I think was a big mistake. But he's the coach from the other team, so I can't say too much about it. But no, I'm joking. But yes, indeed, they were doing very well. And when a team like this is feeling better and better, don't change them. Let them roll, because when you come in and you call, it's very hard. Singles a little bit different, but in doubles, very hard, especially for the girls serving. So you have to have a little bit of strategy in there as well.
Yeah. Well, it's a great job by your players today, but also by you to manage that and finish off. And what a way to pull out with that mixed double. So congratulations on the win today.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right.
And keep recruiting for us. Thank you.
All right. All right, and here we have Coach Marcelo, unfortunately from the losing team, Team Atlanta. Talk to us a little bit about what happened there. Very close, women's singles, like really keeping it close. The mixed doubles just kind of stamped it.
Well, definitely a tough one to swallow, right? Credit to the team. Tampa played extremely well. That's a very strong team. We tried to bridge the gap by doing a little bit better with the girls. And we came out in doubles with the expectation to be able to create momentum in the beginning, because we know how important it was to be able to win the first vault, capitalize on the opportunities to get 2 points, to try to turn it into a match. Unfortunately, it wasn't the case. Again, credit to them. They play better. I felt like today we felt what Knoxville felt against us about a month ago. It's really tough to ride the storm when the point discrepancy becomes so large. It's really, really tough. So it was a test for us. All I told the team is we gotta be better. If we get to a point where there's such a discrepancy, we gotta just play 1 point at a time instead of focusing so much on the scoreboard. But it's hard to fight that. It becomes very emotional. They're being loud. But I'm proud of the way the team fought. They kept trying. They kept talking to each other. Congratulations to JY for recruiting an amazing team. Okay, our little leprechaun over there, he's just a trash talker. I told him, you deserve no congratulations. Even though you coach the team, the winning coach is right there at the table. So congrats to you, well done. But this is what is exciting about the league. We came into the match not counting on the win, by no means, but we came in very confident after a very good first match against Knoxville. And today we're the ones walking away with a tough loss, with a huge point difference. It's gonna keep us on our toes. We gotta work on some things, technically, strategically, but even just bringing the team even closer together. And we'll be ready for them in April down in Tampa.
It'll be interesting to see the stats at the end of the match, because I felt like even through midway of the mixed doubles match, the biggest difference maker was just the +2s. Not necessarily overall points won, but I felt like your team won so many individual points, but their +2s, because they were so offensive. I felt like that was the biggest difference, but then how do you make up that gap without playing reckless?
It's very tough, it gets in your head, because I saw moments where we were able to create some momentum, winning 4, 5, sometimes 6 points in a row, but all single points. And then we would let up, and just within 2, 3 points, they'll bring it back to the same amount of difference. So it was kind of frustrating, and knowing when to tell your players to be extremely aggressive, but not reckless. When you have such a big difference in points, you want them to be aggressive, but I felt like a lot of the ATL players today, they unintentionally went for too much because they were playing the scoreboard. It really puts you in a position where the strategy almost goes out the window. You almost need to turn into a psychologist. If the match is tight and it's close, then you can think a lot more on the strategy component. But when it gets to that point, you just gotta try to get them to believe we can still fight back. Don't look at the scoreboard, we can still fight back. Hoping that they're going to keep, especially in mixed doubles. I just kept telling them, guys, we need the 2 points, no doubt. But let's try to keep that cross-court return, maybe hit an extra short cross-court to look for the opportunity to go down the line when the ball is actually there. I just felt like we were going for shots down the line way too early, and players like Jada, she was always ready, and she was able to always put the volley away and capitalize on the 2-pointers. So again, credit to the team. They earned it. I feel like I told the team in the beginning, if we walk away from here feeling like they beat us more than we lost, I can live with that. I feel like we didn't perform as well as we did against Knoxville. but the dictating factor of the result was Tampa playing better than we did.
Yeah.
Even though we could have done better, I think even if we had done better today, we would have lost the match just based on how we played.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you giving us a little time and sharing your insights.
Man. Thank you, bud.
Thanks. All right, and we have Michaela Gordon here, the captain of the Atlanta team. Tough match today. Talk to us about what happened.
Yeah, I mean, first off, credit to Tampa. They played a really good match, and they were clearly the aggressive team. They came out, hitting big shots, big margins from the get-go. During the men's singles, they were painting lines. I mean, they were just going for their shots a little bit more. I was proud of how we kind of fought the whole time, and women's singles, we ended up bridging a little bit of the gap, but just not quite being able to get over the line and make it an even match. So I just wish, with my performance, I could have put the team closer to being even for the mixed doubles, but that's how it goes.
There was a lot of controversy in the men's singles with calls. Now, you weren't playing, but you were on the sideline, and you could feel that a little bit more. Did that stop the momentum? Because twice it happened towards the end of the last bolt. How was that trying to go through that, manage those emotions for the guys to get it ready?
Totally. Yeah, I think it was one of those things where everything was going the opposite direction. Every call seemed to be going for the Tampa team. And I mean, it's hard to tell. We don't have Hawkeye, so who knows where those calls actually landed. But I think it's one of those things, especially in this format, you just have to keep moving on because someone's going to start serving. If you're arguing with the ref and you're going to lose another 2 points. So just trying to keep our heads level and play the point that we're playing was kind of our goal there.
Well, and how was it in the mixed doubles portion? Because in women's singles, I thought you all did an incredible job, even though you were down double digits, just staying calm, staying patient, and just working your way back in. But then you get to the mixed doubles, and it's kind of hard to not overplay. How do you try to manage that? Would you do anything differently, or just you feel like you had the right thought, it just didn't work out?
Yeah, looking back, again, they were the more aggressive team in the mix. I think what I would have done differently is come out swinging and going for down the lines and being aggressive at the net. It was also hard because Raul on their team had a really good serve, and he was returning every time. So it's hard when he's running around, hitting forehands, macking the ball to poach off of that. And he has a really good serve. And Jada, big credit to her. She was poaching every ball and hitting her kind of slice lefty serves. So looking back, I would say going for it a little more. But yeah, I keep thinking about the singles too, that we could have closed the gap even more, or at least I could have. But yeah, it's how it goes.
Well, and I thought the gap, what made it so tough in the women's singles, but in general, overall for the entire team, I was talking to Marcelo about this, where it'd be interesting to look at the stats after, but it's just a +2 difference. I thought the Atlanta team had so few +2s, and Team Tampa had so many +2s. That was really the only difference, I thought. Until then, in the mixed doubles, it just really carried away.
Totally.
But that extra bonus point, you guys couldn't get just enough of those to close that gap faster.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to look at the stats and see, just points to points, what that looked like, because I'm sure it's way more even. I mean, they were hitting winner after winner, painting lines in every event. So it's one of the cool things about our format. We had the opportunity to make up that gap if we had started hitting winners, but they were just a little more aggressive. And they were also really hard to hit winners on. They were moving really well, too. So I just wish I had taken a few more chances in my game. But I mean, the rest of the team did so well. I'm really proud of Team Atlanta.
Well, we appreciate you giving us a little time, and good luck in your next match down in Tampa.
Thanks, JY. Appreciate it.
And here we are with Jada Daniel, the Team Tampa, arguably MVP for sure of the mixed doubles. First time playing in Intense. What did you think out there?
It was crazy. There was a lot of energy, and I thought it was fun. Honestly, I had a good time. Very different.
Yeah.
And I think a different strategy, but I really enjoyed it, and the team atmosphere was great. So definitely a good experience.
And how was that in the doubles? I mean, you really shine there. I know you love playing doubles.
I do.
Yeah, and just poaching, moving everywhere, and that's really what sealed the deal.
Yeah, it was, honestly, my partner really set me up so well.
Yeah.
And I do love being at the net, but honestly, he served well and returned well, so I kind of felt like I had opportunity after opportunity to move. So it was fun, but honestly, I credit him.
Yeah. Well, it's a team game, even more so in doubles, but overall, how did it feel having that substitution format? Now, it was the first time in any of the matches that the doubles team was not taken out the entire time at the end.
Okay.
So we could, understandably, you guys were on such a roll, but and then in singles, the back and forth, how was that? Because that's so different than anything that exists.
Yeah, it is different. That first ball, when you've kind of been cold on the sidelines, just like watching and supporting, is so different than anything we really experience, I would say, in other settings. But I liked it. I thought it was, again, it's different.
Yeah.
And it's exciting, and you feel like you have somebody else to rely on in a way that's different, obviously, than just doubles, where you do have a partner. And it's also just, it's weird because you kind of want to play the whole time just to like get comfortable and like kind of get into a rhythm. So it was odd, I would say.
Yeah.
But I liked it. Good switch up.
Good. Well, it's great to have you in the league. Great to see you front and center like that, and hopefully get to see you again.
Thank you for having me. Yes, that'd be great.
All right.